Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Hey, Doug Christie today. Doug should be joining us this hour. It's Whitey and Jay. Kyle Draper not with us today. Drapes is doing something very worthwhile involving, I think, mentoring. But Jay, I got to say this. And again, I know Drapes wasn't feeling well a couple days ago. And then today he's doing some very worthwhile things, but he likes to call himself the LeBron of the station. But I'm going to have to start calling him the AD of the station because is he here? Is he not here? He's not here. You know what I mean? He's the Anthony Davis of the station.
Oh, man.
Where is he?
Who's more disrespectful towards AD to call him Draper or Draper to call him AD?
I think it's a toss-up.
Okay.
Yeah. What'd you think of your Kings last night? Another slow start. Another big win over a bad team. More hand-wringing from Kings fans, Jay, is now they look ahead to that schedule, and people are, maybe they should be, fans are terrified of this schedule.
No need to be, man. Ain't no. Hey, we walked through the fire,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can't, then you shouldn't be in the game. That's the way I look at it. Ain't no need to approach anything. As one of the things I learned when I was young, scared men don't win.
Mm-hmm.
You might luck up, but you ain't gonna win when it's really all said and done. So. Ain't no need to be scared. It's going to be a difficult task. We know they heading to Houston. Them boys down there, some knuckleheads.
Yeah.
They some real G's when it come to, they going to push you around. They take the personality of Ime Udoka, and that's the first start. No one's scared, baby.
Right.
Shouldn't be.
Right.
Again,
right.
Positivity, Kings fans.
I know.
Come on now.
I know. All right, let me give you this. Jay's not going to like this, but let's just see where this goes.
Okay.
Jay has a big win last night. You win by 17, but
good.
That's not a really good team. And at times they didn't play that well, Jay. And I'm just not sure where this all is with the way they played at times last night, especially that slow start.
Yeah, well, a lot of it was garnered in the back end of garbage time. So to me, that's a 20-point win.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm being optimistic a little bit when it comes to certain things, but I like to have faith. I get it. Go back and look at Utah's last couple of losses. It ain't like they losing by 50 to people.
Right.
So come on, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I just wanted to,
Trying to stir the pot.
Yank on your chain a
Ain't
little
nothing
bit
wrong
there.
with that. Nothing wrong with that.
2 straight for the Kings, and now the road trip continues with Houston and Dallas and the Denver Nuggets. And yes, Doug Christie will be joining us at some point, probably around the bottom of the hour. Doug last night after the game, I don't know if you caught it, Jay, but he said basically what you just said is like, you got to play these teams anyway. You want to play the best team. So what's the problem? Here we go. We're ready. And it's not even the next 3 games. It's after that things get a little dicey. But, the Kings do have a long stretch of home games in there. Make no mistake. It's a lot of games they have in March. They have 4 back-to-backs. But it's surprising to me how many fans are already going, I can't look.
Is it surprise? Is it really surprising to you?
A little bit,
Okay.
just because the reaction is a little stronger than I thought it would be at this point.
Gotcha.
I get it. I know Kings fans have learned over the years, like, what's around the corner? I don't know. But, people, the way they're talking about this upcoming schedule for this month, I've heard my guy Chris Watkins called it a bloodbath today when he was on with Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but we'll see. The other thing is they probably, no matter how this goes, there's a really good chance that at worst they're a 10 seed. And I know they got Phoenix this month, and you got to take care of your business.
Sure.
But I think you may have given up some of your cushion by losing some games earlier this year that you could have won. But there's only 11 for 10 now, and the team that's right behind you in 11th, they're not playing well.
No.
So I think you may have ended up with a little more wiggle room in that regard than you thought you might have.
And how about the Spurs? You look over your shoulder, right? You look at the Spurs, and the Spurs getting smoked every single night.
Yes.
And it's interesting. Now I find myself, I said last night, this morning, I'm doing some research, checking out some stories, breaking down the analytics. And something just told me go over to Spurs Twitter. And boy, hey, you think the Kings fans is panicked, you should go over to Spurs Twitter. They ready to burn the whole house down. Matter of fact, they ready to get rid of some people already.
Not already.
I'm just telling you. So as I always say, to use it as an example, we're not alone, Kings fans. Do yourself a favor. Step out of the Kings kingdom once or twice, not all the time, but just once or twice throughout the season, and look around. And I think this is what Drapes was saying. Look at some of the fringe teams.
Mm-hmm.
Look at some of the people that surround you. We had Law Murray on the show 2 days ago, right?
2 days ago. Correct.
And what did he say? The Clippers they starting to all look around.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost 3 in a row. Kawhi, you never know what you
won
get.
Last night.
They did win, but I'm saying two days
yes,
ago.
You're right.
2 days ago, they lost 3 in a row. They starting to look around. They're starting to figure out, as he said, Norman Powell had a few down games. Kawhi can't be found anywhere right now. Doesn't it sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone picked up the phone and checked what's going on in the Valley of the Sun right now?
I've called, but I'm not getting it. Nobody's picking up.
I wouldn't be picking up either. Yeah, if I'm going 3-7 in my last 10, I'm not picking up either. Mm-hmm. And so, that's the thing. We're not alone in this, and I think that's what Drapes was saying. Now, don't get me wrong. We're talking about the schedule. The schedule is rough. On paper, it's rough.
Yeah.
We'll see how it shakes out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of the things that stood out to me last night, obviously, Keegan jumps off the box score. And if you watch the game, great to see Keegan play so well and be so aggressive. But Valanciunas, and I'm not saying he had a better game than Keegan, but it's rare. I don't remember the last time I saw a Kings player that physically dominant, Jay. And we've seen a lot of Kings players have great games over the years. But it was just like, who was it? Was it Filipowski's like, I'm almost shouting at the TV, he can't guard Valanciunas. You're going to have to try something else. Filipowski had no chance against Valanciunas.
Yeah. The big Trojan, as Willie likes to call him.
That's
I think I got that drop tucked away somewhere. The big Trojan, he's getting it done last night. And, 6 of 7, right?
That's right.
Doing his thing, 15 points, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and 7 rebounds, fresh off the pine. And what do you have? 14 minutes or so? What was it, 14, 15 minutes?
13, 15, so
14 minutes. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. I mean, that's pure ball. A lot of people, and this is what I say, these are great examples of sometimes you just got to reset your own button, Whitey. Is, yesterday there was a little bit of hesitation. Oh my gosh, Keon might be out. What's going to happen? What do we need to do? And then yesterday he has a great game last night. Sometimes people panic for no reason.
Right.
It's just and sometimes, I should say majority of the times, it's Kings fans. Relax. Take it one day at a time.
I really appreciated the way Sean Cunningham phrased it. I think it was yesterday at Allen had him on, pardon me. And they had the conversation at the end, Allen says, thanks, Sean. And Sean says, Allen, take a breath.
Yep.
He says, it's the Kings. It's a roller coaster.
Come on.
Enjoy it. Relax. And Kings fans have been through a lot. But as I keep saying, it's almost March and these games matter, and that's a good thing.
Come on. We'd be looking right now. We'd be pulling out Ace Bailey breakdowns. Jay Broom breakdowns from Tennessee.
And this is the 3rd year in a row where games in March will matter.
They matter.
Yeah.
And, I know Brendan Nunez, Sac Sports 1140 Kings Insider, came on yesterday, and he put a few words out there that might have discouraged some people because we saw it, as far as if there wasn't a play-in, would the Kings be playing for anything? But necessarily, they're not too far from the 6th spot. But, the 8th spot.
Right,
right. The point of that is, be a fan how you fan, right? Never too high, never too low, though. Yeah. And that's what Coach Christie says quite a bit. If you pay attention to him, never too high, never too low. Game by game, fellas. Game by game. And so as a fan, that's what I'm looking for. And I understand there's going to be a 3-game losing streak. There's going to be a 3-game winning streak. And I know, 2 games, 2 games, we're on a roll, and then we're going to get humbled. And that's what sports normally does to you. But this team is talented enough to make the playoffs, but they are new, fresh. Things have been done throughout the season where you could say, if they don't make it, I could understand it. Now, I'm not saying you want to be on the outside looking in, but I'm also saying there's too much of, oh my goodness, the house is falling versus it's okay. We'll see how it works out. Let's see how it shakes out. A month and a half from now, we'll have that full conversation anybody wants to have. And you can come right here on 1140, talk to Whitey, talk to me, talk to Draper, and say everything that you possibly want to say. I told you, Jay, it didn't work out. Like, I'm here to have that. But as of right now, what's today? February 27th? I'm not going to stand for it.
The house, to use your analogy, the house hasn't fallen down. Let's face it. They're doing some work on the back.
Yes.
That they didn't
the back house?
The back of the house.
Okay.
And they'll work on the
The
front
deck
too.
or what? Where we
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're putting some new stuff in the patio.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like, you know how it is when your neighbor's doing something. What are they doing?
Right.
They putting a pool in? What's going on back there? So that is going on with the new guys who've come in, and they're still figuring it out.
Right.
So we don't know where it's going to go, but we're prone as Kings fans. They play badly. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm prone as a Kings fan when they play badly to think, this is terrible. This isn't going to work. And then they bounce back. And I think with this team, my point is, I think there's still a lot of volatility potentially.
Yes.
Because they are still figuring things out.
Yeah.
And I'm not guaranteeing that, it's going to be great. They're going to win every game. But let's keep an open mind and watch this. And as John Cunningham said, enjoy this ride. Because this is there's a lot of talent on this roster.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
It definitely is. And you just hope that it could come together as quick as possible.
Yeah.
You know, just like you said, use the backyard analogy. Sometimes I take a step back inside the house. I'm not the greatest interior design. Let the wife get a hold of that. You know,
right.
She sees colors and angles and stuff better than me.
Yes.
Now we go outside. I'm all about the barbecue grill, baby. Napoleon. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things when it comes down to it is there's different strokes for different folks. But I continue to keep on saying, fan how you want to fan. But just know I'm going to fan how I want to fan too.
Mhm.
So I accept how any Kings fan wants to say and question and say, hey, Jay, you out of your mind. I respect it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I could be, maybe my optimism is a little bit out of pocket. But I'm also saying, allow me to be a fan the way I want to. And then we'll come together in a month and a half or two.
Yeah, we'll take a quick time out here, come back with 3 things that stood out about the win last night. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. If you want to jump in here. And Doug Christie joining us, probably bottom of the hour, but soon. Doug Christie with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. All right, I know what you're thinking. Here we go again, another Drapes commercial for his guys and girls down there at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. But trust me, listen to this. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they'll take care of you. Trust me, they got certified pre-owned vehicles starting at 3.49 APR on select 2021, 22, and 23 models. And take it from me, when you go to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you leave out feeling like you're valued, like they trust you, like they care for you. Matter of fact, it's like they're your family. That's right. So for over 30 years, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has been there for the entire community. And get this, it's not that far away, guys. Just a short drive down I-5, or of course, online anytime at mbofstockton.com. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and tell them Drape sent you.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month, and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The huge President's Day sale is on at Maida Chevy, Sacramento's Silverado headquarters. Save $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on new half-ton Silverado LT after rebates with over 50 in stock. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,250 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
I'm George Washington, and I approved this message. Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. 5 to the South of Western 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPfest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPfest.com.
Don't miss your chance to win tickets to the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Expo March 6th through the 9th at Cal Expo, the largest outdoor recreation show in the market. Just go to SactownSports.com now for your chance to win.
High Voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on March 8th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown 2 with 8 big fights on the bill featuring top-level veterans and the best in up-and-coming new names. Scheduled fighters include names like cruiserweights Blake McKernan and Sean Miller. It's a night of great boxing action you won't want to miss. It's Thunder Showdown 2 coming March 8th to the venue at the Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Fight card subject to change. See Thunder Valley website for scheduled lineup.
There's no better time than now to get yourself into a brand new Jeep because it's Jeep Adventure Days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, offering the best deals in town and a selection other dealers are jealous of. Stop on by. They're just off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge.
Appreciate it. MW209. Whitey is a legend. JJ, dang it. You're a real one. Enjoy the ride, everyone. There you go. Enjoy it. Amadrock. Good point. Amadrock says there's too much talent on this team to mishandle the ball like last night. Kings know they can't play like this against Houston. Jay, that was the one thing. Some of the lob passes to nowhere. It's frustrating. And I know Malik, after the game, he said, that was mostly me. We were throwing it all over the place, and I gotta be better. And Doug addressed it after the game. We may ask him about that. We may not, but I know he said, look, I can't fault the guys for trying to make plays for each other. But he also said, yeah, we're going to, look at that and on film and have some fun with that. So, yeah, publicly, the coach is going to have his players back, but in that case, the coach realizes, guys, we can't do that, right? Especially on this road trip. So you're right, Amadrock. I thought 3 things to me that stood out, Jay. Keegan, honestly and obviously, was excellent and aggressive. Another thing is the shot distribution was very even. That sounds a little, wonky, but 14, 16, 12, 18, and 12. And to me, that's always a good sign that an offense is functioning at a high level. Yeah. We tend to look at assists and high number of assists, which is a good barometer. But I also look at the shot distribution, and that's really good for this team. 14, 16, 12, 18, and 12, everybody getting their touches. And then third and finally was the lob passes were unacceptable. So you clean up those sloppy turnovers. Kings have been committing too many turnovers, but not all turnovers are created equal. It's the ones that you can look at and say, wow, that was a bad play. Those are the ones that they got to clean up. They didn't last night, but I'm still hopeful they can, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to be Mr. Positivity today, but there is something to being aggressive versus being, just everywhere. A lot of what they're doing is aggressive. And I think that's what the way the Kings want to play is they want to play with pace. They want to play almost, frenetic at certain times. And a lot of times, and we've seen it with the Warriors, they've won plenty of championships throwing the ball away. You've been front row and center to see if some of those things. So it can be done. And I think that was one of the things when you look back at the Warriors, not comparing each other because, they have Steph Curry and a few other guys, but it just shows you can play with the fast pace and have some scrupulous type of turnovers and still, be successful. I'm not saying the Kings have all that wiggle room because you don't have Steph Curry in the locker room. You don't have a top flight, Klay Thompson and probably one of the best defensive players in Draymond Green, but you can play this way and be successful. They just got to tighten up a few different things. Absolutely.
Yeah. As far as the turnovers go, you mentioned the Warriors. I was doing about probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was doing an interview with Steve Kerr. And the day I was doing the interview with him on the radio, on their flagship, a poll came out in The Athletic, a players poll. One of the questions was, what coach of another team would you most want to play for? Steve Kerr was the number one answer.
Really?
So doing the interview, and I asked him about that, and he hadn't seen it. And I said, yeah, you got the most votes from players as the coach they'd most want to play for. And he said, I think they appreciate the fact that I give players the freedom to turn the ball over 14 times a game. So it's
you can have some missteps.
Yes,
mishaps.
yes.
Yeah, you don't want to see as many. And how many did they have last night? Let me pull that up real quick.
They had 16, and then 12 of the individual turnovers.
Yeah.
But that could have easily been, a lower number if you cut out the lobs ?
So what would you like to see? Let's go to the cup.
I'm not a big fan of the lobs all the time anyway.
Okay.
And they had, I think, 2 in a row where Malik threw one and then Keon threw one. And I think there might've been 3 in the game that went awry. And sometimes, and I'm old fashioned and I know I'm Mr. Get Off My Lawn, but go to the foul line and you got 3 guys there. Sometimes the lob is not the most efficient way to score a basket, Jay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I get it. I don't everybody's going for highlight plays.
You don't even want the behind the back pass, huh? Mr.
Well,
Gleason?
it depends.
Gleason.
Sometimes that's the best pass if you can catch the defense by surprise.
Coach Gleason, I would like to put a little spin on my ball if you don't mind.
I asked Jerry one time about that. I said, Jerry, in high school, you go to the foul line, you stop, and how come the pros don't do that? And he was very nice. He goes, these guys are a little better than high school players. So some of the things you learn in high school don't necessarily apply to these guys.
In the association?
I get all that. They got to win, and the bottom line is, as you've been saying, as I've been saying, a win right now, a win is a win is a win is a win is a win.
Absolutely. I'm taking it any way you can get it, especially when you look around and you see the carnage around you. It's just, you are on the doorstep of the 6th spot.
Yeah.
2 games separate you in the 6th spot.
Things could look a lot different this time tomorrow because the Kings are off, but the 3 teams ahead of them and the one behind them are all playing tonight. So there's just going to be a potential for a lot of movement here the rest of the way.
And
every game.
You're spot on. And the other thing is I always look and we have these conversations and we talk to reporters, we talk to coaches. Maybe we'll ask Coach Christie this, do you look at the games in five game increments, 5 game blocks, 10 games, 20 games, however you see it. But, you always go and look at the last 10 and it always catches me by surprise that back 4 or 5, 6 teams in the Western Conference, it's like they're always playing 500, 6-4, 5-5, 4-6. And then if you look around, if someone goes on a run like the Sacramento Kings did, you go 8-2. Like the Lakers are 8-2 right now, and they've separated themselves from that bottom 5 or 6 teams now. Like they're comfortable in the 5 spot, and so it takes a run. It's going to probably take a run from a team to separate themselves, maybe to hit that 6th spot. But if you really look at it, like I got it up right now, Whitey, the Clippers in the last 10 are 4-6. Minnesota's 5-5. Golden State Warriors are on a mini run. They're 7-3. The Mavericks are 5-5. The Kings are 6-4. Portland is 6-4. And then the Suns, who have dropped, are 2-8. And so a 3 or 4 game run either way, negative or positive, means a lot. If you're playing 500 ball, you're right there in the middle.
Especially in this stretch of games.
Absolutely.
The Kings play 500 ball or better this month. they're going to be looking good when April dawns. Gracie approved in the chateau, says, got to clean up those lob passes. But for now, I enjoy seeing those misses. Got to test your limits, but maybe just lay it up next time.
I'm with you. I'm like that. And one of my pet peeves, dunk the damn ball.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stand when guys are 6'8" and above and they land a rock up.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The pumpkin can be smashed.
Smashing pumpkins.
Smashing pumpkins,
one
baby.
Of the things that really surprised me last night is Keon is fine. He had that tweak to the ankle. We didn't know if he was going to play. He's questionable. He's fine.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
Looked great, actually.
He looked healthy. Yeah. And then another thing I planned to ask Doug about, I think I know why, but the starters played a lot of minutes last night, Jay.
Yeah, they did. It was interesting. I was thinking of, was this one of the games where you could kind of bring those minutes down a little bit, test your bench? But I also think the way the game played out, they would jump in front 16, sometime 20, and then Utah might go on a mini 11-5 run. They kept it close enough to feel uncomfortable, moving forward. And so I thought maybe that was something there, but it's interesting. We might have to ask Coach Christie.
Yeah.
Why'd you dig in with the starters a little longer?
My guess would be because it's almost, again, you've got all the new players and things are coming together. And it's almost like, hey, we're ahead. So this is kind of like practice time, best practice time you can get because it really matters. That would
Great
be
observation here,
my
sir.
guess of why he's doing that. Yeah. But it's funny. I don't know if you saw any of the post game, but Doug's at the podium and Keegan was up there at one point, and all you can see is the guy at the podium is like, all right, any questions? And there's Jason Anderson from the B. He asks a question. Next question. Jason Anderson from the B. I think he was the only guy in there.
I think he was. And
for him.
This other thing, and I don't know if you pay attention, I do get to see the press conference, of course, going after post game, not seeing the game home station. But when Drapes is on the road, he turns into a reporter as well. Like, I don't know if you've paid attention to that, but then Drapes will jump in and ask some questions as well.
Right.
Normally it's Drapes kind of being the majority question, the questionnaire from majority from himself, but then Jason might jump in on the back end a little bit as well.
I think we definitely have to ask Doug about the 53s. And last night, they shot the 3-ball very well, but they only shot 36. Yeah. And that was great. They made 15 of them 42%. But a lot of people are still wondering about that 53s number. I'm sticking to my theory, Jay, that in order to get him closer to 40, he's saying he wants 50. He doesn't really expect 50, but if I say I want 40, we get 30-something. So I'm going to say I want 50 and hope we get 40.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. It is going to be can you even get close to 40 every single night? And I know, 36, 35, I believe a couple nights ago, you're getting there. But 40 is a tough number to reach, too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug Christie be joining us here coming up. We're not sure exactly when. It may be next. Also coming up, what's up with Domas? A lot of people wondering about that. What do you got, Jay? 3:00. All right. Doug Christie's going to be with us at 3:00. We're back with a look at what's going on with Domas next. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacktown Sports is bringing you the biggest live events in town. Whether you're rocking out or dancing the night away, check out the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Crank it up with Steel Panther at Ace of Spades on March 15th. Then catch rising country star Alexandra Kay the next night, March 16th, also at Ace of Spades. On March 22nd, experience the magic of the Ronstadt Review featuring Jessenia at the Crest Theater. Then get ready for an epic night. Papa Roach and Rise Against take over Golden One Center March 29th, while comedy legends Jay Leno and Arsenio Hall bring the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on that same night. And for country fans, Lee Brice and Walker Hayes hit Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st, and Parker McCullum takes the stage August 16th at the Ironstone Amphitheater up in Murphys, California. Don't miss out. Find more info and score your chance to win tickets at SacktownSports.com. The Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Your ticket to the best seat in the house.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
You've taken the first step, lift, and run to a fitter you. Now keep the momentum going at InShape Fitness. Everything you need to keep your workouts from feeling like work is here. From high intensity to low impact, we are InShape. You are ready. Join online today at InShape.com.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
The word on Coach Christie is he's scheduled to join us at 3 o'clock. So looking forward to Doug Christie at 3. This would be, Jay, the second time that I've been here for an interview with Doug Christie on this iteration of the show. I think it was last season. We were talking to him at one point. I think he was walking his dog or something.
Yeah. He's walking his dog. And just tapped in with him. He's moving and grooving around Houston. So, we want to make sure we get him while he's sitting comfortably and everything.
Right.
Out getting a little something bite to eat, something to drink,
He's probably not taking care of himself very well right now, Jay. You got to look after him.
I hope he is, man.
Because you don't get sleep and you're just working so hard. So, but he's a smart guy.
Yeah, it's time. I mean, there is a difference between being a head coach, assistant coach, and a player. They all have their own routine and different schedules. So I was going to say he's been a player. He's been an assistant coach. He's been a play-by-play color analyst. He's done pretty much everything that you possibly can do as far as not front office time. I'm pretty sure he's got a rhythm, but this is a little different, though, right?
Yeah, he may still be finding that sweet spot.
Yes.
One of the things I want to ask him if we have time, because we got a number of things.
We should ask him that.
Yeah. We've got a number of things to ask him, and we have limited time. But, he went, as you said, he used to be on this station, now an NBA head coach. Who does Doug think is the least likely, not that anybody is going to do that, but who on staff here at our station is the least likely to follow his footsteps from on-air at 1140 to NBA head coach?
I already know who he's going to say.
The only
I already know that. I know what answer.
Are we talking about?
We want to go over and under here?
Yeah,
absolutely. I guarantee he's gonna say Carmichael Dave.
All right, and we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. That's coming up top of the hour. Real quick NFL note before we get to Domas. Jay, did you see the salary cap news in the NFL?
I did.
2025 cap is officially 279.2.
That means come on 49ers.
Yes, for all teams. Like all of a sudden, guess what? You got cap space because that's it's another record. It's, again, as it was last year, higher than was anticipated. So just real quick, here's how teams are looking with their cap room. You got New England with $128 million, Raiders $96, Commanders $82, Bears $79, Cardinals $76, Chargers $66 million, Vikes $63, Bengals $61, Steelers $60, Lions $51, Titans $51, 49ers $50 million in cap space.
I like it.
Just handed down from the football heavens. Here you go.
I like it.
Boom.
I like it. Where are you going? Because you know where they're going, right? Defensive line.
Yeah, but I wonder if now if you Does this give you more room to spend on keeping Dre Greenlaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you hear General Manager John Lynch yesterday, or President, I should say, John Lynch?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of threw that out there. He was like, look, we would like to get Greenlaw signed before free agency period opens.
Yeah.
At one point in time, there was, if we can keep him, he's going to be very sought after.
He said,
but if we
John
can
Lynch,
keep him.
Yeah, to your point, he said, we're very interested in keeping him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I didn't realize this. I guess Dre Greenlaw looks around and says he might want to go to another team and just be the star linebacker rather than play in Fred Warner's shadow. So hopefully they can convince him to stay.
Yeah. I mean, that's a heck of a 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
And if you come to the situation.
He hadn't gotten hurt, they win a Super Bowl, Jay.
Oh, absolutely.
There, I said it.
Put it out there, brother. I'm going to stand behind
Draper.
It's tough. It is tough when you're talking to a Super Bowl champ, a current Super Bowl champ, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I will say this, though. I got to give Drake mad love, because if it was me and the 49ers won a Super Bowl, I'd be, man, people wouldn't hear the end of it. Every single conversation piece would end. But the Niners won a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I'd be,
what happened?
Tough
honestly,
to talk to.
He talked so much in the 2 years leading up to it.
Yeah.
So much that then when they won, he didn't have anything left. There was nowhere left to go. He spent it all.
Wait a minute. Drapes didn't have nothing
That's the
left?
only explanation, because I'm with
on.
you. I remember that day after the Super Bowl. I was like, oh, no. And it was okay.
It was all right.
Yeah.
I'd be obnoxious.
Yeah.
I'd be screaming. The boss would have had, Jay, you could take the day off. Like literally, Whitey, you would have said, you know what, Jay, it's cool. I'm glad you're happy, but you can leave. Like you are obnoxious at this point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Does this make you any more optimistic that the 49ers could be knocking on that door again this year? This year.
Of course. It's not over. When the players say it's not over, then I'm going to say it's not over. If the players in their heart and their mind say, it's over. And I know in the beginning of last year, we heard Lenore, and a few players say, this could be the end of this run. This could be the end of the team as we know it. With the new cap, couple other different things, it's looking mighty fine. Whitey is looking mighty fine.
By the way, you were asking me last week how they replace Debo, because I know John Lynch said yesterday, we're going to grant his wish, and they may not trade him, but he's going to be one way or the other. He's going to be gone. You said, how do they replace him? And I mentioned Ricky P, but it's actually Juwan. Juwan Jennings is the guy. He's the one who's going to do more Debo-like work. He's not going to carry the ball. He's not going to be lined up in the backfield, but he's a tough receiver.
Is he a bona fide starter going into next year? Does he have to be on the field? First play of the game?
I think so, especially if you have Ayuk back. I like that combo.
So those are your two, and then you got Tricky Ricky P in the slot? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Juwan Jennings was tough.
Yeah, he was. He was. The one thing the 49ers need to develop, and they haven't done a good job in doing this, they have to develop that speedy, shifty wide receiver. They've tried to draft for Danny Gray was one of those guys. They're looking to try to get one of those guys, and they just haven't been successful.
And you don't think Ayuk is close enough to that, do you?
No, because I think he's more of a possession guy. I think he's a really not even a 5. I think he's more like a 10 to 20 yard type of receiver. You kind of find him in that niche.
Kendrick Bourne was kind of that guy, huh? A little bit.
No, I think Kendrick was more possessional.
Okay.
You think he could take the top off?
Unless I'm thinking of somebody else, yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne is over with the Patriots.
Yeah,
love Kendrick Bourne. We might have to get him on during offseason. He is one of the most colorful guys in the league. He's a good dude. Like, he has great conversation. I just think
I'm with you. They haven't found that guy.
Yeah, they're missing that, and I think that's why they've developed, or Shanahan has developed, an offense where you have you use your running back or your fullback to kind of be those guys, because it's a mismatch. So you're kind of using the word cultivating. You cultivate that matchup versus this guy, sheer talent, sheer rawness can beat that guy. I don't know if they have that when it comes to speed or, 40 yards and more down the field.
Okay, I got another one for you from our boss, Jose.
Okay.
What about, I know they got him from Denver, Emmanuel Sanders. He was kind of a possession-y guy too, though.
Yeah.
He was a little bit in between.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. He sure took the top off the defense in the Super Bowl.
What happened?
And somebody couldn't hit him. Nah, please.
The alligator armed
Someone couldn't hit him.
Jimmy put the ball on the money.
Boss man, you tell Whitey Jimmy G couldn't get it there. Jimmy G struggling. Have you seen this whispering of Jimmy G could walk in and be the starter for the Rams?
No, really?
Yes, like allegedly, as I put the air quotes in there, the Rams are okay with Jimmy G being their starter this season. Yeah, right. I would love that.
They're just trying to gain some leverage over Stafford. If you leave, we're okay, but they don't have any leverage over Stafford.
You put Jimmy G against this 49er defense, they're going to absolutely hammer somebody.
Jimmy's a winner. All he does is win. That would be great news for the 49ers. Who would you rather have at quarterback for the Rams, Jimmy G or Aaron Rodgers? As a 49er fan, who would you rather have at quarterback for the Rams?
Probably Jimmy G.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd kind of like to see the Aaron Rodgers thing just go south and drag the whole thing down, you know?
The whole Rams organization?
Yeah. Get them caught up in that drama.
Jimmy G's got a little bit of drama too, though.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
It's like soap opera-ish.
He hasn't gone into a hobbit hole for a darkness retreat.
That is true.
That's something he
That
did
is
with
true.
the porn star. I don't, that's a whole nother
You better
thing.
be careful. The
He
boss
did
is listening to you right now.
He didn't that I know of.
Yeah. But Jimmy G is a prima donna, is he not? To you?
See, he's a little bit of both. I know he missed a game with New England when his teammates thought he should have played.
Right.
And he fell out of favor there. But with the 49ers, he played that one playoff run. He had a bad shoulder. He had a bad thumb. I mean, he played through some serious aches and pains as a Niner.
He did, definitely.
So
But
I don't know. I don't think of him that way, but you're right. I mean, that is in his history.
right. I guess because we were front and center as 49er fans and we're so close, I saw Jimmy have a few instances where it's like, okay, big dog, you acting like you're the top quarterback in the league compared to know your role. Like you never were the best on your team. How many times can we say that for other quarterbacks who have taken their team to the Super Bowl? And it happens. I mean, it's not like the greatest quarterbacks make it to the Super Bowl every single time, but more times than not, the quarterback is that guy to take a team to the Super Bowl, unless Rex Grossman or you Peyton with the surgically repaired neck or, a guy like that. But more times than not, Jake Delhomme guys, but there's more Cam Newtons, more Jalen Hurts, more Peyton Mannings.
Who pick the team up.
Yes.
Rather than
more
guys
Drew
who are
Breeses.
elevated by the team around.
Yes.
Them,
And Jimmy G acted like a prima donna too many opportunities. So many instances for me, for the 49ers. It's good riddance. So I would like to see him kind of get some of that humble pie over with the Rams as well.
Doug Christie, top of the hour. When we come back, we will look at, hey, what's up with Domas? Next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Slayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of Tax Slayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use Tax Slayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Tax Slayer. File fearlessly.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible for a copy of the general general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
One ticket, 2 huge shows. The Sacramento Boat Show plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. Plus ATVs too. 2 shows, 1 massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show, plus the Big RV Show, March 6th through 9th at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
At Stockton Honda, we know how to honor a great deal. Like right now, during our President's Day sales event, you can find star-spangled savings on some of our best models. Why not stop in today and see for yourself? Save thousands with low APR financing and great lease rates on over 500 new Hondas at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Doug Christie coming up top of the hour. The Anthony Davis of the station. I'm sorry, that's my mistake. LeBron James of the station.
Come on.
Kyle Draper not with us today. He's doing something very worthwhile involving mentoring. And then I think he's going to be on the road with the team. So I think Drape's back with us next week. But yeah, Doug Christie coming up. Great question here that we may get to ask Doug on the in the chat from Tino. Okay. What did you learn from Rick Adelman? Was it trust in your players and give them freedom? It's a great question, Tino. As I said earlier, as you know, we have a lot of things to ask Doug and we have limited time, but I would like to get that one in if we can, because I do like the way that, for fans ties everything together. Doug Christie, what he learned from the greatest coach in Kings history and what it means for where the Kings
I will peel back the curtain a little bit. I've had this conversation with Coach Christie quite a few times, and one of the people that had meant so much to him when it comes to the game of basketball, and I'm not saying Rick Adelman didn't, but I know he holds Coach Pete Carril, as he calls him, Coachy, to a high regard. Like, that's someone he's talked to me about numerous times when it comes to, like, I learned so much about basketball as much as I played early on in my career, high school and college and everything else. Two of the coaches I always hear him talk about is his college coach and Coach Carril. Super interesting.
Jerry told me a really funny story about Coachy once. Brilliant, right? Just brilliant. And he said he was so brilliant with basketball, that's all he thought about. And the other stuff, he's like, didn't pay attention to. He's like, I got to get a new car. What happened to your old car? You just got one. Yeah, it's an engine's ruined. Well, did you ever change the oil? No. Why would I do that? He was like, well, you got to do that, but that's the type of things like he's not thinking about that stuff. Thinking about basketball.
He's all about the pumpkin, baby.
Yeah.
Every day is Halloween for Coach Carril.
That's right. That's right. The great Coachy. So we'll ask. Maybe we'll ask Doug about Coachy. Domas has a lot of people scratching their heads. Domas last night, he had 12 points, 9 rebounds, and finished with 6 assists. And he didn't score many points against Charlotte. So a lot of people here in the chat are wondering what's up with pardon me, I got Doug on the brain. What's up with Domas? I'll tell you one reason why I don't worry about Domas. Last night, third quarter, might have been fourth quarter, and he had been struggling with his shot, and he gets the ball at the elbow, and I think there was a flyby, so he had a chance to take the ball to the basket. So he puts it on the deck, and if you've watched NBA basketball, you know that guys that score a lot when they're having games when they're not scoring, sometimes you can tell they're keenly aware of that. They start looking for shots. And this is a case where Domas drives to the basket, and he could have taken it to the basket, but instead he found DeMar DeRozan in the corner and hit him for a pass, and he knocked down a 3. When I saw that, I realized, okay, I'm sure this guy would like to score more points, but he's playing the right way. He's not affected by how many points he scored, or he had a solid game, and the team won by a wide margin. I think, frankly, Jay, what happened to Domas last night, he got outplayed, and that happens. Walker Kessler had a really good game. Yeah, Domas wasn't terrible, but Kessler had a great game last night. What was he, 10 for 10, I think?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
he was 10 for 10. And let's give some love to Walker Kessler, even though I'm not about giving love to opponents. One thing I've seen, since he's come into the league to now, and it's only been a short time, obviously, a couple years, but his his athleticism has jumped off the page to me a little more.
Yeah.
I felt like when he first came into the league, he was more or less like he looked like a Jonas Valanciunas. He was just kind of more of a brute to me, the way it looked. And now it's like, okay, he's got a little wiggle to him. It seems like he's got a little more spring. Maybe he's growing into, that adult body of his. And the other thing is he's way faster and I should say quicker than I remember as well. So shouts out to Walker Kessler. And I'm with you. I think Walker Kessler just had a better game than Domas.
Yeah, Walker Kessler was brilliant.
He was
last
balling.
night.
Yeah.
25, 14 rebounds, and he had 5 assists. So
you talking about getting a lob. He caught one lob towards the end of the game. I'm like, the game is over.
Yeah.
Why is Walker Kessler still in the game? And he swung around on the rim, and I said, okay, big dog, you got a little sauce. I see you, Walker.
That may have been a guy who was keenly aware of who he was playing against. It's like, I'm going to show you what I can do against Domas. So
prove it.
I know that's 2 games in a row for Domas at numbers wise. They're a little down, but the Kings won both games by a wide margin. And, I'm not worried about it, Jay.
No, absolutely not. I think if there's anyone on this squad I'm really not worried about is Domantas Sabonis. I know he's going to be there when you need it to be. It's for me, it's the last question I have for Domas is postseason. I need to see it in the postseason from Domantas at a higher clip, at a higher level.
Yeah.
But beyond that, Domas is solidified in this league.
To my eye, Domas has been very aware of trying to get his teammates acclimated. And we saw earlier on after Zach LaVine first got here, Domas was picking up a lot of offensive fouls because he was trying to free Zach LaVine on screens. So he's not worrying so much about his numbers. He's trying to get this offense, especially in the half court, on track. So a guy like that, you don't have to worry about him. He's trying to make adjustments rather than, hey, this is my team, you adjust to me. So yeah, the last 2 games haven't been huge numbers games for him, but he played well last night overall. Defensively, he got outplayed, but they won by a wide margin. So not worried about Domas. We get worried, Jay. Why do we get so worried about, how many points did he score?
Yeah.
He didn't score 20 points. He didn't have a triple-double.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Domantas. And to be honest, there's way more questions for this team that we need answered than Domantas Sabonis's, last couple of games. Yeah, there's far from worried about Domantas.
That said, you raised a very valid point. We're not there yet. Hopefully he gets to the postseason, but he still has some things to prove in the postseason.
Yeah, I think if there's a question on his resume that needs to be answered, it's postseason.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Domantas Sabonis is an all-star. He's an all-league guy. I think he's probably one of the people around the league, onlookers, NBA circle people who they can consider him an underrated star in this league. And so, I don't know if that's the position you want to hold in the NBA, but I do know that means people are paying attention to you and they see that you have a high caliber talent level, and so for me, I just need to see it in the postseason. And people want to bring back the Indiana Pacers love when it comes to Domantas Sabonis and questioning. I'm just saying here for the Sacramento Kings, let's be better in the postseason. Let's see it happen.
Jay, at the risk of getting ahead of ourselves here, let's be honest. He's not the only one with something to prove in the postseason. DeMar DeRozan is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a lot of success in the postseason.
Truth. I think Zach LaVine probably.
Exactly.
You have some questions there. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is a team with a number of guys who in terms of their legacy could stand to benefit by playing well in the postseason. And you can't do that. It's been my experience. You can't play well in the postseason unless you get there. I don't know if you do you agree with that. Yeah. So
yeah, that's very true.
So hopefully that's in the works here.
It is.
Yeah.
All positivity on the drive, guys.
How are so many people around here saying, I don't know. This team's broken. You got to tear this down.
Yeah, I don't know, Whitey. Maybe we should have some of those guys on our show. Maybe we should question those people.
I know we had Brendan on yesterday, and I talked to Brendan today, and Brendan had a very thoughtful, emotion-free, rational approach to that. I don't agree with him yet. I don't think we're there yet, but I understand the argument. But I think too many people are looking at it from the standpoint of, this ain't working. Is it bad? It's not bad. We'll see. Again, buckle up, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I think it's just what you've said, though. The pessimistic Kings fans are rearing their heads here in Sacramento, and for good reason. You know, there's been a lot of change. There's been some down games, and there's been some lulls throughout the season. And, you know, there's been a shift in a couple of different people who's on the team. And so I can see the opportunity for the pessimistic Kings fans to rear their head. But I continuously go back to it. You're still in the fight, and that's what Drape says.
You're still in the fight, and you're committed to this group.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
for right now,
right.
We're living in the current.
Yes. And so what's going to happen in the off season? You don't know. And I mean, how would you, if you say, you know what you're saying, if anyone who's saying they should tear it down, and that's you're right. And I understand that can be a rational point of view, but basically those people are saying that De'Aaron Fox was right. I think they're saying
that's what comes with that.
It comes down. Maybe that's not why they're saying it, but they're basically echoing what he said, which was, yeah, this team is not. We're not that. We're not getting where we need to get to. Yeah, and I don't think we know that yet.
No, I don't think we knew that, and I don't think we knew that even when he was here.
Right.
And so it's an interesting point of view. I hadn't even thought about that, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just dropped that, you know, right in front of me, and so.
I'll clean it up.
No, I don't think you have to. I think it's a great question. I think it's something to think about. You know, food for thought. I just believe we are used to, and you've made this point a few different times, we are used to it as Kings fans of being pessimistic. The house is falling. The sky is crumbling, right? And more times than not, it has on us. And so that's why I say, fans, please, I totally understand it. Listeners, I get it. I'm not, by no means am I saying you have to be half glass full guy or half glass full gal, but we're talking about now, right now, this regime, these players, guys that we just got 2 weeks ago almost.
Right.
Like, these guys can't be, you know, graded on the scale from 5 years ago.
Right.
They can't be graded on the scale from 2 years ago. We got 3 or 4 different people who weren't even on the squad. So I think we have to take it for what, you know, face value.
And right now we're getting ready to talk to the coach of the Kings, Doug Christie. He joins us when we come back. Drive Guys. Doug Christie next on Sacktown Sports.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal and every detail matters. Check out the new Napoleon Prestige and Rogue models and see the difference a Napoleon makes. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel, boasting absolute quality. Napoleon knows that the smallest details add up to make a big difference when curating your perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
With DJ Quinn, telling y'all if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. In the real way.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Kyle Draper not with us today. He's got something very worthwhile that he's doing. Although how could it be more worthwhile than talking to our next guest? I don't know. You got Jay, you got Whitey, and nice enough to join us, coming off the 118-101 win over the Jazz last night. The coach of the Kings, Doug Christie. Coach, thanks so much for your time. How you feeling today?
In a real way. That's a way to bring them in. I like it, guys.
Come on now, you know I got you, man.
No doubt. I'm good, man. I mean, always working, trying to figure it out, and that's really where I'm at, man. Just trying to decipher the puzzle and put our best product out there on the floor, gentlemen.
Coach, can I ask you, now that you've had a chance to look at it maybe and think about it, what has pleased you the most about the last two wins?
Just the ability to continue to fight and work on us. That's been our biggest, my biggest messaging to them is this isn't really about our opponent right now. It's about, because we don't have the ability to have training camp. We don't have the ability to have some things. So a lot of what we're working on, we're doing it in live action. We're working on it on the floor, go back and get the video, whatever practice time that we're able to have, shoot arounds anytime, just trying to be as efficient as possible. So the fact that guys are playing hard and trying to figure out some of those things on the fly and understanding the messaging of working on us on a night-to-night basis.
Coach, one of the things that we hear about here quite often is how hard you work, how much you put in, how much effort you rock, and how much you put every single day. And I think it shows with the team that's coming on the floor. Are you starting to see a little bit of some of your persona in some of this team? Or are you seeing some of the fight that you brought to, all the Sacramento Kings fans have come to know you for?
Yeah, I see it in spurts, and I think that's probably, when I talk about working on us, that's one of the biggest things is there's a level of consistency that we see with the really good teams, and that's what we're trying to find, and that is me trying to hold them accountable, but when you take it to that next level, it's about them holding each other accountable on a night-to-night basis. And, I do see it. And I really, to be honest with you, since, we've gotten into this, I've seen it early on. Like, there were times when we were down double digits, and it's become a thing that they continue to fight. They continue to grind and try to fight their way back into the game. And then once they get a hold of it, now we're trying to learn on how to, and to kind of squeeze it and just put opponents away. And it's a process to everything that you do in this league. But I'm really proud of the guys' attention to detail, trying to do all the right things. Does it go right all the time? No, it does not. But it is not from, even when I look at the turnovers and things like that, they're not selfish turnovers, like the alley-oops and different things. Guys are trying to move the basketball. They're trying to make plays for each other. And a little bit it comes from thinking. But, as you say, my personality on this team is hopefully, as we continue to go down this path, is the fight, the determination, the willingness to sacrifice, and we play as hard as hell.
Oh, that's a lot to be asking, man. Come on.
Coach Doug Christie, as you mentioned, Coach, you guys don't have a training camp here and practice time is precious. I'm assuming that's why you left the starters in as long as you did last night, because every moment of those groups together on the floor are so precious right now as you try to figure your way forward with this group?
Yes and no. Early on, I can't remember what game it was. I remember subbing the starters out. It was like 4 minutes to go, and there was a couple buckets, and I was thinking, nah, never again. So, yeah, no, it is a little bit of that as well, is trying to allow them, because they don't get reps and different things like that. And you cannot mimic. I don't care how much practice time you do. I don't care how hard your training camp is. You cannot mimic game reps. So trying to make sure that, in those moments, if they're going to be trapping, if they're going to be blitzing, trying to get into your offense, just different things, even on the defensive end, what calls are we in? And I was messaging that as I was standing up there. I'm like, listen, the game's going on, but I'm saying, guys, we're working on ourselves. Like, pick up, touch man, touch ball. This is about us. It's not about them. And we have to do that. We got to use every single thing that we can, try to be as efficient in practice as we can, multitasking, but at the same time, trying to make sure that we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's and not letting anything slip. It's a lot of fun. I will tell you that.
Joined by head coach of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie. All right, enough of my basketball questions. I'll let Whitey kick those over to you, Doug. I'm more worried about the choice of the kicks every single game, or how you picking out what locker, what shoe you wearing per game, man. Do you put the Nikes for the purple, or are you rocking the Vans, or what? Like, where are you going each game? How you choose the footwear?
Yeah, I'm not a Van guy. Right now, I'm on these black Travis Scotts, Jordan 1 lows. Yeah, I'm kind of a Jordan 1 low. Wifey bought me a pair of Gucci's. I wore them once. We lost, but it wasn't.
You just quietly put it back up.
That wasn't why, but I'm. Yeah, there's no method to the madness, man. It's more of a feel, but I enjoy my kicks, man.
That's right.
No doubt.
That's right.
Yeah, Doug. Obviously, Coach Christie. Pardon me. One of the things that fans love about you being the coach is you were one of the favorites on the best team in Kings history. So we had a question here from a fan in the chat, and Tino wanted to know, what did you learn from Rick Adelman? Was it to give players freedom and let them play to the best of their abilities?
It's a good question, actually. I learned a lot from Coach Adelman, but what I learned from him that probably translates to the coaching aspect of it was just that, like trying to get them to buy into what we're doing, but to be selfless in the way that they approach the game. And that's where, when I was talking to you guys about the turnovers, like, it's from a selfless act. It's not like, you're not forcing the shot and then you don't have anything and you're throwing the ball away. It's like they're driving, they're trying to kick it, they're swinging it, it's getting intercepted. But, all of the things are right. Maybe the read was incorrect. And I think that was one of Adelman's great strengths, was it started with Webb, Vlade, Peja, and you go down, like, everyone has skills and everybody could do a lot of things, but it was always the selflessness of the betterment of the team. And that was, I think, one of his greatest gifts is his ability to figure out a way that we all bought into that, and trying to take that and bring that to Kings basketball again, at the same time being a style of basketball that is not only winning, but it's also beautiful to watch for the fans. And I think they always enjoyed coming because it was a show. You know, we're here to play, but we're also putting on the show for our people. And when they come into the arena, we want them to be proud of Sacramento, proud of the Kings, but also beat the hell out of people at the same time.
Joined by Coach Christie of the Sacramento Kings. Coach, something that's super hot around here in Sacramento, and I think I get asked this more than anything, any question about who and what you are, is the secret messages on the whiteboard before the game. Yeah. And I've seen, some of the reporters down and, jump into the locker room and try to break the code.
Like
I'm not
DS was one for the Warriors. Right? Yeah.
Look, don't give the secrets, but what's the thought process and talking about method of the madness? What's the whiteboard talking about every single game?
It's a good one. I mean, it just kind of happened organically. Like one of the first games, I put something up on the board, and it was MTFU. And I asked them, and I won't say what they thought that it meant, because it was like, I was like, no, but that's good though. I was like, I like that. That could be like, you got A and B, but it was make them feel us. And so from there, it just kind of took its own thing. And, like I read a lot of books, especially when I'm driving, I'm listening to a lot of books and different things that I find interesting. A lot of them are like autobiographies, because I like to hear people's stories. And a lot of times there's pain and overcoming adversity and a lot of different things that apply to a lot that these guys are experiencing. And whether it's my experiences or reading or whatever it is, the message just kind of comes throughout the day. It's not anything that I'm trying to think of or anything. Some of them come a couple minutes, before I get to the arena. And then I write it up there. Sometimes they guess it correctly. They have, because now it kind of becomes a thing with them. They're looking at it like, what the heck is he talking about? You know what I mean? And some are a little deeper than others. Some aren't. It's just, an acronym for what I'm thinking. But that's all it is, man. It's just trying to, I always used to say, even on TV and on radio, is, part of, I think, my job is to get them mentally in the lather. Like, they go on the floor and they get themselves physically in the lather. That's sweating. But I need their minds to wake up, and I need their minds to be involved, and I need their minds to be thinking of whatever that messaging is, because the messaging is always going to be positive. It's always going to be about us. It's always going to be about winning. It's always going to be about us doing the things that we need to do to be successful. So that's really all it is.
Coach, we've been talking a lot since Monday night. We've been talking about the fact that you said, hey, 38 threes, I think it was against Charlotte. You said that's a little light. My new number is 50. So I'll give you my theory on that, and you can tell me why I'm probably dead wrong. But because 50 is a lot. So I was thinking, okay, he wants them to shoot 40. They're not normally getting to that number. So coach is saying he wants 50, hoping they'll have a better chance of getting to 40. I'm sure that's wrong, but that's all I got. 50 is a big number, Doug. What can you share with us about how you came to that number?
Well, I think, like, first of all, like, the arithmetic, the math behind it, there's a number for each player that I would like them to get to. And the way that I broke it down, it's possible. But I will say, like, we were light early on, and 40 was the number. So we were getting 37. We got 42 once. We got 28. So then I went 45 to get us to 40. So now I'm going 50 to get us to 45.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
So
it's game.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, that's what I want, and I want them to play for each other. That means, how do you get to a number like that? You get to the number like that by being selfless. You get to number like that by having 30 assists. You get to number like that by collapsing the defense, kicking it out, being ready to shoot the basketball, not pump faking. Like, I'm ready when I catch it. I'm thinking shot when I catch it. And if I don't, that means somebody was close enough to me. Now I take advantage. Once the advantage is created, however it was created, we got guys who can create it on their own, like Zach or Malik, and they get by their guy. Don't give the advantage up. And you give the advantage up by holding the ball or pump faking or something like that. So whether it's a two-man game in the pick and roll, whether it's a post-up with Domas or DeMar, and they double team and they kick it out, once the advantage is created, keep it and look to let that thing fly.
Yo, D, one of the things that I and like many other people around here, consider you the godfather of basketball when it comes to Seattle. And I know you're selfless, and I know you say no, but I know you knew somewhat of Zach LaVine. You kind of tapped in with Zach, but now that he's here and he's under the guidance of you, and you're in the same city, same team, has he surprised you with anything?
Yeah, he's better than I even thought. And I think you remember this because we were on the radio and we had tried to get Zach. And there was conversations between him and different players, and I was just like, yo, like, I love all the players, but you guys, you're not right on this one. Like, this kid can go, and I think he's finding his way, but he shoots the ball at a really high clip, and every time he shoots it now, I think it's going in. That's the vibe I get. And when you're playing against a player like that, you're hoping it doesn't go in. So the difference is like how I'm looking at it. And now it's like, man, I really got a chance. Like when he got on the heater the other night at home, he shot one right in front of me. And you get those angles, and I got the angle. And as soon as it left, I was like, oh man, that's good. And that was like the third one in a row. And I'm thinking, wow, man, I'm glad you're on our team, bro. So yeah, I would say like just watching how he goes about his game, the gravity that he has out there, he's a professional. He's a professional scorer at a really, really high level. So I'm glad he has on our jersey, and I'm just hoping that we continue to figure this thing out at a really high level for our fans.
Coach, as you try to get this team offensively to function at a high level, how pleased were you with the shot distribution last night? 14, 16, 12, 18, and 12. Obviously, Keegan's big night. He takes more shots than usual, but a very balanced attack in that regard. How pleased were you with that?
Yeah, it's a good thing because that means everyone is touching the ball. And when a guy finds a game, like as a good teammate, like we find ways to get him the basketball. I would say really like that is actually what I would like to see from Keegan. Like I thought that was probably is about as perfect a game as he could have. I thought the reads on DHOs was great. If a guy went under, he didn't go too far, so he had a chance to recover. And when he caught the ball, he was ready to shoot it. 10 is the number of threes that I like to see from him. He got to that number. Defensively, he was solid. On the backboard, he was solid. Like the all-around game was it. But when you talk about the offensive side, that's really what I want to see from him is an aggressive mindset. When you catch it, you are ready to shoot. You immediately, you pull your weapon out right away. And from there, it's a read. Did he go under? Is he trailing me? Where are we at? And what is the next step? And it was just really good to see from him because I thought that he kind of got away from the thing that made him special. Because in our league, once you find something that makes you special, then you make people take that away from you. And that's how your game evolves. Sometimes we start trying to evolve our game before we make people take it away and respect it at such a high level that it makes you evolve your game. So, but the shot distribution, like sharing the basketball like that, and then when a guy finds a game, then we go to that, and that's probably the person on that night that's going to get the most shots, and that's okay.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Coach, who got the weakest aux cord music over there? Who got the weakest playlist right now for the Kings?
I'm not sure because everybody got headphones on, man. So I don't know what they be. I don't know what they be rocking to. But I told them actually the other day, like, man, we need a theme song.
Right.
Man. Like, when I was in New York, it was let's get ready to rumble. And then when I was in Sacramento, it was what did Mateen? He used to say, "We ready."
Oh, okay, little Pastor Troy.
Yeah. So we'd be in the hallway, and that's the chant that would start. And I told him, that somebody's going to be on it. They said we own it, but I was like, man, we what's our thing?
Right.
We got to have a thing. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you hear it, it's time to turn up and get at it.
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what
looking
I mean?
for.
And right now, they got some cracking music.
Okay.
They have their thing going on, but I'm looking for that thing, the thing that wake me up, and I go, okay, I know everything in the world is going to be right when they hear this one.
The musical equivalent of smelling salts is what you're looking for.
Yeah. Them smelling salts, man. Them things is, whew, man.
I
tell you.
Yeah, I got one more for you. As you mentioned, you and Jay used to be on the air here. Who that's on the air now here at 1140 is least likely? I know no one's going to do it, but who is least likely who's on the air now on this station to go from being on the air to a head coach of an NBA team?
Chris.
I thought you were going to say that. It's funny because
whatever your question was, the answer would have been Chris.
Yeah, I figured. I put the setup in there because I thought most people would say Carmichael Dave.
That's where I thought he was
but
going,
I already knew. I said it's gonna be Verlai. It's gonna be
no doubt. It's not even close. You can ask me another question, and it would still be Chris.
I guarantee he texts me right now and say, "Man, that's my guy."
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, Coach. We appreciate your time very much. We'd love to talk to you again. Thanks for making time for us. Can't imagine how busy you are. Best of luck on this road trip. Best of luck against the Rockets, and thanks again. We enjoyed it.
All love. Go Kings, light the beam. Peace, guys.
Doug Christie, coach of the Kings. We may have to play that again in the 5 o'clock hour. Thank you, Jay, for helping line that up. I'm stunned. I thought he was going to go Carmichael Dave.
No, it's always Verlai.
But I'm not stunned about the 53s because I think I got that one right.
I think you were spot on.
Yeah.
I thought, and he chuckled. He even laughed. He was like, "Yeah, you got me."
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's your coach's mind. That's why you wouldn't be at the top of the list. But I guarantee Verlai and D they've got a relationship where it doesn't matter. Like Verlai's always going to dig. It doesn't matter. Coach Christie could be the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And Chris is going to dig a little bit, and they just got a dynamic, between those two. It's entertaining.
I'll tell you, and I know you know him off the court and off mic, but for a guy who's coaching a team in some interesting circumstances, he sounds very relaxed and very self-assured right now, which is great.
Yeah. Well, one of the things about Coach Christie is he's confident in anything that he does. Like I've learned that, being around him for years, that it doesn't matter what he's doing. He feels like he can succeed in that. And so, I think we're both kind of that same way. And I think that's why we both kind of clicked. And, like I tell him, that's, he's like a big brother to me now, after so many years, but it's just one of those things. And that's why I'm always on here on the Drive Guy saying, I know sometimes it's bleak. I understand. You take some L's. Oh, man, we should have won that. I get it. Totally understand it. And then I can even compound on that, Whitey, and say, I understand how tough it is to be a Sacramento King, man. I'm born and raised here. I'm born and raised here in Sacramento. So I understand it. I'm not 70. I'm not 90. I'm not the legendary Jerry Reynolds, but I've been around for 40 of them.
He's not 90 either.
Absolutely. And so my thing with that is I understand how bleak it can be. I understand there's a lot more rainy days than there are sunny days. But I'm saying let's gauge this right now. Look at the type of head coach that we have who's in the position that he's in right now. Look at some of the stars that we have part of this team, and so I think it's more positive than negative. But also, again, I'll repeat it. I'll be repetitive. When it is not, I'm not running from it. But I'm asking people not to run from being positive too. And so I think Doug, he exudes that. He's just that type of cat.
Yeah. When he's been through it. And that's what the players are responding
for sure.
because he's been through all of it. And I think that's been the most impressive thing, is how early on you could see that A, they have buy-in, and B, they are responding to him. Be very surprised if he's not the coach next year, but that'll all work itself out.
Yeah, one of the things that I've had and I'll peel back the curtain a little bit, just a little bit. We've had a conversation about what it means to be a head coach for the Sacramento Kings. And if you can't hear through the voice and the passion and the intensity, and I'm not saying, the aggressive intensity, I'm just saying he means well.
Mm-hmm.
There's realness behind what he wants to do and what he's saying when it comes to being a head coach. And so I've had those conversations, and, after the initial, like, wow, man, dude, you're the interim head coach right now. After that, for me, I made sure to not show that in front of him, but then have the conversations like, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I get all the time. It's like, man, we about to go win this game.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't win this one, we're going to win the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't win that one, man, I'm going to stop it at 3. I can't have it on my time. I'm looking at my watch every single time. And I joke with them. I'm like, dude, you about to suit up. Every time I look at you, you never sitting down. You standing up.
Mm-hmm.
You halfway on the other side of the floor. That's passion, man. Look around. Watch other coaches. Sometimes you don't see that.
Right. When we come back, we'll continue the review of our fascinating conversation with Doug Christie. Also, when we come back, how the key to how much success the Kings are going to enjoy in March, it really, to me, depends more than anything on one guy. We'll tell you who and why when we come back. It's a Drive, guys, on Sacktown Sports.
This Saturday, Kings and Rockets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3:30. Tip off at 5.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Lob ball. George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Taking your workout to the next level can be as easy as trying something new. At InShape Fitness, that includes small group training classes like boxing or rowing, or spending a little more me time in the sauna. We are InShape. You are ready. Join online at InShape.com.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Alter the Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, we just talked to Doug Christie, and I asked Doug Christie, for those who perhaps missed it, you can find it on the website at some point. We may get back to it in some form or fashion later in the show today. But I asked Doug Christie, look, you were on 1140, now you're an NBA head coach. Of all the people currently on 1140, who is least likely to become an NBA head coach? And he went right to Chris Verlaud without hesitating. Yeah. I barely finished the question.
Like Chris.
He said, I don't care what you ask me, the answer is going to be Chris Verlaud. So Vince Gilman in the Chateau says, send Chris to post-game interviews. Good idea.
Did you see the one time that Verlaud went to the post-game interview?
I don't
and Coach
recall
Christie?
that.
Oh, yeah. So I think it was literally like the second game Doug Christie took over, and you can't see, Chris, but you can hear, of course. You can hear him, of course. And Chris he gets the mic, and Coach Christie said, he just starts laughing. He literally starts laughing. And Chris goes, hey, Doug. Hey, Coach. And I have to go find it. I'm pretty sure C might have it. I'll text C and see if he has it. But
so that's actually already happened.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I think it was the second game that Coach had taken over, and C went down there and was like, because the first game was the Lakers, right? Yeah. So it was the first home game. So I believe it was the second game.
I think that was, Dallas, I think.
Was it Dallas? You might be right. Yeah. And Chris gets the mic, and Doug automatic. He's like, oh, here we go. I think that's what he said. He's like, oh, man, here we go. All right. What's up? He's like, what's up, Chris? What's up? And starts laughing, and C's like, hey, Doug, okay. And actually, Chris asked a great question. I just don't remember what it was, but that's a dynamic you'd have to see.
And Carmichael Dave's off that hook. I thought for sure.
Oh, he was number two.
Dave.
Yeah. I didn't want to give it away, so I kind of went with it when you said that. He was like, got to do with Girth. And I was like, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Spot on. But I guarantee anytime Chris is around Doug, you're going to see Doug go, oh, here we go. What's coming, Chris? What's coming?
Oh, is there anything else that stood out to you about our conversation with your friend and the head coach of the Kings, Doug Christie? Not to put you on the spot.
No, absolutely. I think the two things for me is the 53s. He's playing the mind game, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's encouraging to shoot 50 and really get to 40, and I think he'd be settled there. I think he was spot on with that. Your guess was fantastic. You were spot on. And another thing, too, is I'm a music guy. As you guys know, I'm a huge music guy, and that's why I asked that. And you see, I tried to get him with the setup, the hook, instead of that. Because the easy way is to say, who's got the best, playlist? No. Who's got the worst one? Who's the one that needs the aux cord to be pulled from him? And he didn't bite the apple. But it is interesting that the team hasn't developed kind of like that theme song of the year yet.
Yes. Those are the two things that stood out to me when he talked about the board, the phrases or the initials
whiteboard.
That you asked him about, because then you're like, as he described it, we're inside, the locker room pregame where we're never going to be, talking about that and how the players are trying to guess that, how they're responding, and also how he and the team are trying to come up with a theme song. So that gets to the real back and forth between the head coach and the players. That's really interesting because otherwise we have no way of knowing that ever happens.
Yeah, there have been acronyms spread throughout, the last 20 or so games or how many games he's coached. And I've seen him. And I think Sean Cunningham is the one that always reports on it. Like you always see him.
Yeah.
Today's message on the board is DS. Or like you said, MTFU or something like that.
And you can't help but guess, like DS, I was like, defense staff.
Right.
That's what it is. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was going to be a little more deeper, but it wasn't. So that was interesting too, because knowing D, he's a Deepak Chopra guy, and like he's into all the manifestation and things like that. So I was like, oh, he's got to be reading something. Edgar Allan Poe. Every single day he's pulling from the greatest of the greatest, and he's like, nah, whatever. I see it on a bus stop, and I'm just rocking with it.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, you're right. I said initials. You said it right. Acronyms.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
That's that's a little deeper. All right, as we get ready for the Kings to continue this road trip. To me, the success they're going to have this month, Jay, how much they're going to have, how much they struggle, more than any player. Obviously, it doesn't come down to one player, but more than any player, to me, it comes down to this. Ooh. I think it comes down to Malik as he continues to get a firmer hand on not just playing point guard, but playing point guard on this team. And I think if he continues to put pressure on defense and the two-man game with Domas is working and he limits some of the bad turnovers and knocks down some shots, I think the Kings are going to have a ton of success. I really do.
King of the Kings.
I think he's probably the single most important player from here through the rest of this month in terms of determining whether the Kings are smiling at the end of it or, licking their wounds.
I like that. I think you spot on. For me, he'd be second. I think a lot of this, and I hate to do this because, it's difficult, and I'm not saying he can't handle it, putting a lot of pressure on the shoulders. But I think, and we've had this conversation, the NBA moves by stars. Stars move the NBA. And I think the biggest star here right now is Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And so I think if Zach LaVine stays on the path that he's done all year, minus a few little speed bumps here and there, getting traded, things like that. He had a few down games here for Sacramento. But it looks like he's starting to find that groove of who he is again and continue borderline all-star season that he's had this year. I think if he continues to have big games, stars can win games in this league single-handedly more than any other sport for me. I think if Zach plays ball for the rest of the year, the Kings will be in every single game that matters.
He had 8 rebounds last night
Yeah,
on top of
did.
everything else.
Yeah.
And just in the last 2 games, again, against lesser opponents, as we all know, it just looks like there's the realization on the part of everybody. Oh, here's our guy.
Yep.
He's a guy now, and he's ready to be the guy. First few games, he wasn't ready. So, last night, hit 22 and 8, and it was effortless. He took 8 threes and made 4 of them, and it was just effortless, Jay.
Yeah, and the Utah Jazz play-by-play, friend of the show and color friend of the show, they wanted Craig Bowler, Jack, and Thurl Bailey. I should give their names. One of the things they kept talking about was how Zach looks smooth and comfortable.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, how far we've come in just a couple of weeks. Where a few weeks ago, just felt like it was clunky.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, man, you see the step back 3, which he's mastered. One of those things is that step back 3. I think if he can continue to do what he's done, the Kings will have an opportunity in every game. And I think that's what you need from your stars moving forward, not only for this year, but next year. And that's one of the things we continuously have conversation about is, and then even Brendan Nunez talked about it yesterday. He's like, I don't know if this team has a 1. If Zach can be close to a 1 as possible, Kings are cooking with some grease, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing. While some people have decreed that this isn't it, they're not going anywhere. That may be true, but we don't know that. And this is still a team that is improving, hopefully, but certainly evolving. So none of them know how far they can get. If everything comes together, this could be one of those teams in the postseason, that other teams are looking at like, we don't really want to play them. But we'll have to see. So all I'm saying is it's hard to say definitively right now they're this or they're that. I don't think even they know.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure they even know.
Yeah.
I think it's a game-by-game basis for them. Who's going to come out and do what and when? And then, we look around and you're hoping that it's Zach. You're hoping it's DeMar. You're hoping it's DeMontis. You're hoping Keon has a great game. You're hoping Keegan does his thing. They're looking for someone to kind of take the reins every single night. I think they know who they want it to be, but there's been opportunities where, some of those guys haven't taken the reins, and you've needed, a Jonas Valanciunas to have a great game like he did last night. You've needed Keon to kind of come in and spark the bench, hit 2 or 3 threes right off the bat. You've needed, Malik to say, okay, forget it. Today, I'm not passing the rock. I'm going to go get mine today. So I think it's just one of those things with this team. There's constantly figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day. You heard Coach Christie talk about it right there, where he's like, look, we've had a few practices, but believe me, we still needed a few more.
Yeah, that's why it was fascinating that he said last night, yeah, he left the starters on the floor for a long time, not just because he wants them to be on the floor together, but also because he said the last time he took the starters out early, it got a little dicey.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I said that a little earlier. I was like, it was just uncomfortable enough for it. Like, yeah, I need this one. I got to go get this one. This is a must win. This is a team, because this is the other thing about that, Whitey, is this. A loss to the Jazz upsets the circadian rhythm way more than a loss to the Houston Rockets. That's a game you must have to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You lose to the Rockets, it's like, okay, that team, they're good.
Not really, yeah.
You take it. You can swallow that loss a little more than you can swallow a loss to Utah.
Right.
Utah,
Utah not even really putting their best foot forward in an attempt to win.
Right. Jordan Clarkson had a terrible game. Air balls and stuff. Yeah, and I love Jordan Clarkson. I think he's someone I would love to have on my team if I'm creating a team, because he's just a dog about certain things. But you could see it. Coach was like, nah, not tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing with this one. I'm going to get this one. And we'll figure it out in a few nights.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll look at what tanking looks like when it actually works, because one NBA team is pulling that off, and we'll look ahead at the upcoming March schedule too. Take a look at why it is so daunting. That more of the drive, guys, as we roll on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I don't have to tell you that when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. And that is especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Why do you hear? For National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts. And the styles, prices, quality of the new doors, I was very surprised by what's available now. Our garage door was starting to sound like Doug Christie talking about Keon Ellis, and National Garage Door came out, and they said, we could probably patch this one up. But we made the move to get a new garage door, and we're very, very, very happy with it. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. So if you have any garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. National Garage Door, 916-638-4554. National Garage Door.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Don't miss your chance to win tickets to the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Expo March 6th through the 9th at Cal Expo, the largest outdoor recreation show in the market. Just go to SactownSports.com now for your chance to win.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
It's Drive Guys. Emeron Pilat apparently thinks he's going to join us as he makes his way into the studio, starts to make himself comfortable here, Jay. Did you approve that? I had no idea.
Well, he is a honorary Drive Guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so he can jump in when he sees fit. Now, we do have him on the clock at 4 o'clock, so if he jumps on a little early right now, we're not paying overtime.
Yeah, because Phantom doesn't like it when Emeron comes on early.
Really?
Yeah, because Phantom was here one day and he says, guy's on a half an hour. Why does he keep coming in the studio?
Phantom with a little bit of hate.
Little bit.
But look, Phantom has been known to be a hater when you don't even listen. You must be a hater when you don't even go visit your brother and you drive by his house every single day.
That's true. That's true. Emeron, no pressure, but the last guest was Doug Christie, so you know there's kind of a high bar.
Light the beam. Who's sitting in here, Henry? This chair?
Yeah, I'm
like almost sitting on the ground. It's so low. I'm uncomfortable with this. Hey, good to see you guys both.
Yeah, thanks.
Traffic was not too bad coming in. I enjoyed that. I will not enjoy going home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just be sticking around for a while.
Yeah. I think it's great that you had that RIP night last Saturday for all the collectors who are no longer with us. Come to True Sports Cards for RIP night. That's great.
It was a hobby rip night, as in ripping packs.
Sorry, rip?
Yeah, not RIP.
That's why I didn't go. I thought that's going to be so sad.
Well, you do call my customers mummies.
Okay. All right.
You did call one of my customers Rip Van Winkle.
A little bit younger than that old guy.
I see. So you were ripping cards. It wasn't
we were ripping packs.
Oh, I thought that was
to open cards. Yeah,
I got
it's a terminology for him.
Anybody pull anything good?
Yeah, there was a guy that pulled a Superfractor Randy Orton autograph, who's I believe your favorite wrestler.
Him
and Steve
White is my favorite wrestler, but Randy Orton's up there.
Sell it.
Yeah, we sleeved it and sold it.
How much?
Truly, that card's worth about $1,500.
What'd you sell it for? What they sell it for?
They didn't. Jay, not everybody sells stuff the second that they open it.
Oh, well.
They may ask me immediately, how much is this worth?
Uh-huh.
And then I'll tell them how much I believe it's worth. They go, you'll give me that for it?
What'd you say, 1,500?
Yeah.
Really?
A wrestling card.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I'm out of my mind for spending money on cardboard, and then I don't want to sell it.
You know, I know people that are even more out of their mind buying stuff like crypto that doesn't exist and they don't physically have anything in their hand and they spend far more than that.
That's true.
Right?
So then that means sell it.
For you, everything says sell it. And for drapes, it's always, I'll buy it, but it's got to be half the price.
Hey, what do you think of this?
Two ends, odds of the spectrum.
You know, Drapes calls himself the LeBron of the station, right? But where is he? So
which is so strange because
Anthony Davis of the station,
which is so strange because he said that to me. He says, "Excuse me, Emeron, if you're going to speak to me, please address me by the LeBron James of the station."
Yeah,
I thought, what a weird thing to say. He wouldn't talk to me unless I did it, so it worked out. I called him LeBron. Yeah, so where is he right now?
Some are calling him the Anthony Davis of the station. I don't know where that started.
Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
Well, what about the fact that I guess this is like the All-Star game, and he called in and says, my ankle hurts. I'm not showing up.
That's exactly right.
1 minute before the All-Star game,
Right.
preventing Domantas Sabonis from getting his All-Star
And
nod.
Clearly, we didn't have time to get a suitable replacement.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Can we edit this out in post? Oh, this is live still?
I just, we'll get to what's going on in the card world. Some interesting stuff with a particular Wemby card, because I know you've been telling us people are a little wary about Wemby, but man, one of his cards, as I'm sure you know, just sold for a ton of money. I also want to ask about a guy in Colorado. They came up with a new way to scam card collectors, but he got caught.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. We'll get to that. He got caught.
Okay.
Brilliant plan, though.
I got you.
But you know, there's been a lot of talk about tearing it down. Here's what that looks like when it works. And this has nothing to do. I'm not saying that this is evidence the Kings should or shouldn't do that. I think on this show, we've all decided you don't even talk about that now. Maybe in the offseason. But anyway, Detroit's one of the best stories in the NBA right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
2016,
17, 18, and 19. They won 44 games. They won 37. They won 39. They won 41. They lost in the first round in 2016, 2019. So they decided that to just tear it down. So the next 5 years, were their win totals. They won 20 games. They won 20 games. They won 23 games. They won 17 games. And they won 14 games.
Damn.
That's a 5-year stretch. This year, 8 straight wins, as you said, Jay. They're 33 and 26. They just beat Boston for the first time in a long time. They're 6 in the
By
East.
20.
Yeah. So it looks like it's working, but my goodness, it took them 5 years.
Long time.
Misery.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
So they missed the playoffs. They were doing 20 wins per year.
Yeah.
2
In a
years in a
good
row.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But they still missed the playoffs.
Yes.
And you said it took them a long time.
Yeah.
You could have just taken away the actual losses or wins and just said that took them this long. And I would have thought you were talking about the Kings.
Wow.
Truly.
Wow.
And I'm a massive Kings fan, but I'm saying to you, futility is futility, whether it's 14 wins, 20 wins, or just missing the playoffs in general.
Mhm.
A fan base feels it for a long time. And Detroit is a far bigger city than Sacramento as far as population is concerned and history, truly. Former back-to-back world champions, etc.
Right.
But I think it starts with making the right pick. Kate
You're right.
Cunningham, number 1 pick in that draft, which originally was thought as one of the weaker drafts out there. And now 5 years later, or 3 years later, you're looking at it like, man, that's a strong draft.
Right. Here's their first round pick since 2019. To your point, you're on the money. The first round pick they had there as they started this was a guy named Sekou Doumbouya.
Yes.
How much is
Yeah,
that car
I believe
worth
he's
right
playing
now?
in China right now.
Right now, graded PSA 9.
Oh, give me 10. 10's probably worth $5. I'm not joking.
The next year they drafted Killian Hayes,
Who was
and they
who
drafted
was
very
released.
high.
Yeah.
He was
he's
like
not
number
even
7 or 8 or 9
he's
in
not
that
currently
draft.
in the association.
Yes, he is. He
He's
just signed a
back.
10-day.
Oh, did he?
With the
Yeah.
Nets?
Yeah,
With somebody.
sounds about
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
From France.
Then they nailed both those guys. I think Sekou Doumbouya and Killian Hayes. I think both from France. That's all the thing. You get guys from France. Then they got Cade Cunningham with the number 1 pick overall. They got Jaden Ivey, Marcus Sasser, Oscar Thompson, Ron Holland. So now looks like they're on their way.
Isaiah Stewart's part of that mix too. I don't believe he was
Yes.
a first round pick or if he might have been a late first round pick. Beef Stew is a
Yes.
great player too. Ready to fight
Jalen
anybody.
Duren. Yeah.
Ready
yeah.
to fight anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had, I mean, they made a trade. They got Bojanovic a while back. They picked up Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
They picked up Tobias Harris. So if you,
I think they got Malik Beasley now.
yeah,
Yes, they
Malik
do.
Beasley.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's like a nice mix of young and experienced players is really the recipe to get you back on track.
Mm-hmm. So I know some people could look at that and go, well, that's the way to go. But I know you, because I've sat next to you at games, Emeron, and I know you are not a big fan. I don't remember how it came up, but you were telling me at the last game we went to, which was a Warrior game. You're like, tanking? Who would want to tank?
I find it to be where the fan base may want to tank, but the way that the NBA has flattened out odds for first pick
right.
has changed my thought process on tanking. Before it's like, it's pretty easy. We're going to get the number 1 pick or the best chance at it. And we're just going to tank, trust the process as Sam Hankey did in 76ers land. But now that the bottom 3 all have, I believe, the same exact odds,
14%
at the number 1 pick, try. Like, you owe it to your fan base to try. When you're demanding that they pay the fees or the ticket prices or the concessions, and you want them to be enthusiastic and get up on your feet, and you're screaming as a PA announcer, you're hoping that the fan base is engaged, and it's hard to get them engaged when it's like, oh, let's put in all the 4th string players in the 3rd quarter to make sure that we secure this loss.
Jay, I got a question for you about speaking of Emeron and concessions. So we're at the game Friday, and I have a good friend, Lonnie Nielsen, who was at the game, and he said, "Hey, I'll come by and say hi." So I says, "Okay." So we were in section 103. Anyway, I told Emeron,
I'm going to go say hi.
I'm going to go say hi to a friend. I'll be right back. And he goes, "Oh, can you get me popcorn and a soda?" I was like, "Okay." So he hands me some money.
Timeout.
Yeah.
Jay, we're in the middle section. We're in the middle seat of the entire row. Okay. It's a pain for any of us to get up and go.
I don't mind that. I had no problem with that. Yeah. He gives me money, which, they don't take cash.
Yeah, I'll take cash over at the G1C.
Like, okay. So I go up there and I'm looking at the money and I go, I have no problem doing this. Talk to my friend.
Apparently he does. He brings it up on the radio today.
Well, here's the weird part.
It's been a week.
Here's the weird part.
But I don't have any problem with it.
The money. And you know how much he gave me, Jay?
How much he give you?
$130.
$160.
No, $160.
Look at this guy.
$160.
For what? What were you trying to get?
Popcorn and a Coke.
Oh, that's Kyle Draperish.
There you go. That's right. Is that a little bit of a flex?
And I didn't even go into the left pocket. I went to the right pocket.
Yeah, especially again, like you say, they don't even take cash.
They don't even take cash.
Step back. Let me set the landscape of this, okay? So he stands up to leave, and I go, "Hey, by the way," so already I'm having anxiety. The game is going on. The people that are sitting behind us are Whitey's a door, not a window. So they're trying to look around him. I'm trying to get him on his way. The people that he's trying to get to stand up so he can get past them, they're already standing. I'm like, here. And I just throw money at Whitey like like I was at some other kind of establishment. I throw money at Whitey. I didn't say, let me count this out slowly and make sure that we do it. And then on top of that, it's a reimbursement. If you have to use your card or your tap on your phone or whatever, just keep the difference of what was there.
Well,
plus commission.
Nah.
Yeah. It all made sense until I looked and it was like 160.
Right.
Oh,
so you took the cash. You're just walking up like, it doesn't matter.
Jay, bro was wonderful. He brings a wonderful bucket of popcorn, the Coke Zero, and then hands me back $20.
Yeah, I did.
And I went, how much is it popcorn?
Oh, you know?
And then
surplus.
And then you know what he said to me? Oh, don't worry. I didn't take it all. I'm just kidding. I have it. And then he didn't give me the money until the 4th quarter.
I couldn't find it.
Until the 4th. This is the beginning of the 2nd. And I'm thinking to myself, he's sitting next to me the whole time. We're talking. He's texting on his tiny mobile phone.
Yeah.
And is this guy going to give me my money back or not? And then 4th quarter, he goes, here you go.
I found it.
Yeah.
Emeron Pilat. Yeah.
That's what my boy Emeron had.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, that's right. We're going to ask Emeron about this card scheme in Colorado. 84-year-old Colorado man coming up with a new way to scam them, I should say. Didn't work. Also, we'll look at this Wemby card and how much it went for at auction. You've seen this story, right, Emeron?
Just real quick, where in Colorado is this at?
I don't know.
Okay, because Dan Issel lives in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
And he's about that age.
It might be him. That more as we roll on here to Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends over at Jiffy Lube, and they want to show some customer love this month with their February oil change deals you can find online today. Visit jiffylube.com and find a service center near you to see these sweetheart deals. Get it? During the month of February. Here's what you do. Drive into savings at jiffylube.com today and let yourself save in the month of February, tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Way to go. You've stuck to your resolution to become a fitter you, and now those exercises that pushed you to your limits the first time around are already feeling easier. So what's next? At InShape, taking your workout to the next level can be as easy as trying something new. Take our small group training classes like boxing, rowing, and more, or set new goals with an InShape personal trainer. Then recover with a massage or the sauna, also known as the best part of the workout. We are InShape. You are ready. Join online today at InShape.com.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing. Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
What a day. Doug Christie and Emeron. So how that came out wrong. Doug Christie was with us and Emeron Pilat is with us from True Sports.
Yeah, and
right.
Whitey Gleason, the former co-host of the True Sports Card Show, every Saturday here at 1140.
I'm saying that's quite a double billing there.
Ah, thanks. I felt it. I felt it.
I don't know. Did you hear any of Doug Christie on with us today?
I didn't. I was busy swerving through traffic to get here safely.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was. It really was. Yeah, went very well. He talked about why he left the starters in so long last night.
Yeah, I saw them in there with like 2 minutes left with 20 points. So, what was his answer?
Well, I assumed it was because he wants them still to be on the court as much as possible together, as they're working out some kinks. He said that's part of it. But also, he said, last time I took him out early, things got a little dicey, and I didn't want to do that again. So, yeah it was that.
Yeah, because the internet community would have come with pitchforks and tiki torches, right?
Yeah.
If we had lost won by only 11 instead of 20. Great game last night. I watched it on the replay, so it was wonderful.
Yeah, 2 in a row against lesser teams, but still, that's what you're supposed to do when you play a team. That's a bad team.
Take the wins. Take the wins when we win.
Yeah. Are you, Emeron? I know you're a longtime Kings fan. Are you as worried about this road trip as a lot of Kings fans are? Like, they won't even talk about the rest of this trip and the rest of this month. The schedule is so tough the rest of this month. Some Kings fans, it's like, Valdemar, it's like, oh, you can't even talk about it.
Step back for a second. If you're the other side, so who's our next 2 games as an example?
Next 2, they play Houston and then Dallas, and then Denver, and then they come home against these.
You tell me if you're Houston and Dallas, if you're excited about playing the Kings.
No.
This team can beat you, right? So you have to look at it from the other standpoint of what we're up against. Houston's a little bit going through a slight funk here and there.
Yeah.
And Dallas will not have Anthony Davis by the time that the Kings roll around in town to play them. So I just, this whole 6 through 11 are all separated by 2 to 3 games. This thing can flip all over the place constantly.
Yeah, it really
from the
could.
ranking.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a ball to bounce one way or another, or somebody that gets in foul trouble early. I mean, an early foul trouble Sabonis or another player on the other team can change the dynamics of this entire road trip. So it's so cliche, but let's take it one game at a time. Let's slow down for a second and really look at what the next game has to offer us. The next game is Houston, correct?
That's correct. Okay. On Saturday with Kyle Draper on the call.
Oh, Kyle's calling it. Okay. So
KD, my man.
KD. Is anybody going to be missing on the injury report? Is anybody on the injury report at this point? I know it's a little early.
No,
but
not. Yeah, Keon was last night. Questionable, but he played and he was fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that not only on our side, but what about Houston? Anybody on injuries there?
I'd have to double check. I don't think Yao Ming is playing.
According to Kyle Ledbetter, Fred VanVleet is out.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so interesting. It's like, well, you beat Dallas and they didn't have half their team. Okay. Anyways, we won.
Right.
Yeah. I'll take a non-serious injury guy missing from a team every day of the week in order to help us win.
The tough thing about March, well, there's two things. You play some good teams, but also got a lot of games in a short period of time. You got March 1st, your Saturday, visiting the Rockets, then Monday, Dallas, then Wednesday, the Nuggets, then back home on the 7th, back home to play the Spurs, which, as you know, could be a very emotional night. We don't know how that's going to go. But
does he get booed or not?
Yes. I didn't know
What
whether
do
he
you,
would.
we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Jay, what's your thoughts? Does he get booed or not?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think after the graphic that went up against the
Monday
Charlotte
night.
Hornets, yeah.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me prior to that, I would have said 70-30, right?
You weren't there Monday, right? I don't think you were there.
No.
Yeah, that was when, late in the game. And coming up on March 7th, and they show the graphic.
They knew what they were doing.
It was,
yeah.
It
And
was
literally, and this was so cold
stunning.
about it, Emeron, was the Kings logo was tiny, and then Versus was tiny, and the De'Aaron was huge, right?
But they took it down.
Yeah.
The reaction was so strong. They took it
definitely
down.
shortened.
I wonder how they've now curated this tribute video that they're going to be showing.
Ooh, see, if you go
gotta
with,
do one.
If you go with the J Flow, you do the tribute next year.
You don't do it this year?
No.
I
You
think
can only do that if he says, "Yeah, I'm good with that."
I think you do it with a record scratching, and then you have Zach LaVine pop up in the video and go, "Who?" And then you just boom, all kinds of music and drop the new team, and Kings legend Jake LaRavia goes, "Who? Who that?"
You try to get folks beat up on the floor.
I'm just saying, like, we've all moved on. You've moved on clearly.
Yeah.
But
Let's
that's
keep
an
going.
important part of definitely everybody moving on that night when he comes back. Get that out of the way, and here we go. I think that's the night Royale's coming back, by the way, too. I do. I think that's the night they're bringing him back. But anyway, so that's the 7th.
My dreams will be haunted moving forward.
Then you got the first of 4 back-to-backs in the month. The 9th, you played at LA, and then the 10th back home against the Knicks. Then you got a few days off. Thursday, the 13th, the Warriors. Then Friday, the 14th, at Phoenix. There's the second back-to-back.
That's the stupid one.
Yeah.
Why not Phoenix, then Golden State?
I don't know. 17th, you're home to the Grizzlies. The 19th, home to the Cavs. The next night, the 20th, you play the Bulls at home. So there's a third back-to-back. And then you have on the 22nd, you play the Bucks. And this is maybe one of the toughest back-to-backs in NBA history, although they're both at home. The 24th of March, Boston comes in. The 25th, OKC comes
That's
in.
ugly. That's like, what? Who in the NBA thought of that?
The team that Boston Celtics, the team that the Kings smoked earlier this
That's the
year?
team.
That team
Talk to him.
That's the
on
team.
the road?
Uh-huh.
to him.
We ain't scared of nobody.
Talk to
Let's
him.
go.
I'm smoking.
I'm not scared
Smoking
either,
meat.
but I would say that's a challenging back-to-back.
So what?
Boston and
How would you say it?
We got to
So what
play.
now?
Challenging.
We got to play OKC 4 times a year. So what? We played Boston 2 times a year. So what?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Then you got-
If we just ran around and been scared, then let's just quit. Let's
I'm
take.
not scared. I just can't help but notice it's interesting. Then you got the Trailblazers 27th, 29th, you're at Orlando. You wrap up March at Indiana. So I think, what is that, 17 games? I think it is. I have to double check. 4 back-to-back. So it's against some good teams, including that Boston, OKC back-to-back. A tough month.
Let's just go back to March 7th, which is next Friday.
Yes, sir.
A very important day in Kings history coming up. I can't wait to see Monk just be a dog.
with you.
Oh, my goodness. I think that he's just going to go at De'Aaron. He's going to try to dunk on him. I want our pizza guy to just go crazy and just put in that effort. I don't know if they've talked since, he hasn't publicly stated that they've had a conversation, but for Fox to have been gone 3, 4, 5 days and he says, I haven't talked to him, I think that was pretty telling to say that where their relationship is, knowing that Monk's re-signed here to be with his boy, to play with his boy, and then all of a sudden the guy's like one foot out, and then come to find out there's plenty of reasons why I left, and he starts getting really. I wish he was that vocal when he was here in Sacramento. He sure is vocal in San Antonio. As you can tell, I feel like a person scorned here.
Yeah, you do.
A little bit, yeah.
But so what? I am scorned.
Hey, there's also this. No one's talking about this. But Thursday, March 20th, Kings host Kevin Herterer and the Bulls.
Don't worry about that.
The return of Kevin Herterer.
No, it's the return of Zach LaVine.
All I want,
okay? Even though it's here.
Hey, you know what? Again, I like Kevin Herterer as a person. I hope he does well. The fact that he scored 23 points the other night, shot 7 for 11 for 3. All I just have one question. Well, was that here?
You can ask him
Could you
that.
have done that? Yeah, I'm going to ask him that. Hey, Kevin, good to see you again. Quick question. Why did you do that here?
Are you gonna look him up when he's here?
Am I gonna look him up? We're gonna go have dinner.
Well, I mean, you had a business relationship.
I know.
with him. Yeah.
Well,
okay, I guess not.
I'll just stare into this microphone.
You're gonna give him $160 and say, "Could you get me a popcorn, Kevin Herterer?"
Amadrock says that I think he believes that I'm taking too much stock into the Monk-Fox relationship. I don't think so. I think that they were really close friends ever since Kentucky.
Yeah,
They're
if we were in
excited
court,
with
I
each
would
other.
object on the grounds as it's speculative, but that's kind of what we do.
DeMar, I think, has some sort of feelings towards it too, because Fox recruited DeMar heavily to be here as well. So come on, guys, come play with me here in Sacramento. It's a great place to play. Let's build something together. And then 4 months later, man, I can't wait to play with Wemby. I'm so excited about this opportunity. It's going to be a great time. It's like, wait a minute. You just feels like LeBron when he was recruiting people like Tristan Thompson to the team, and then he bounced out of there and went to LA.
Yeah. Jay, I still think you're right. If I had to bet, I would bet, and maybe just because I hope this, because I want to avoid an ugly night, I would bet that between now and the 7th, De'Aaron's going to go get his fingers worked on and he won't come.
Yeah,
I shut
think
it down for the season.
I think so. I mean, they're losing, and he's had 3 terrible games in a row, and that's what I said. Yeah,
darn, that sucks for him. Oh well. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
thoughts and prayers.
But
you sound pretty scorny.
Yeah, you do.
Corny.
Yeah,
I think he's so scorny. That's correct. And so part of what I'm getting at is, I think that if De'Aaron shuts it down, that's great. It's another better chance for the Kings to win, and we'll take every win that we can get.
4 in a row for them in the.
But I do think think that Fox doesn't do it until after that game. I think he will show up. Unlike Kyrie, and when he had to return to Boston, all of a sudden Kyrie had a sniffles or something, and he couldn't show up.
He had, I think they call it Draper's disease. And he just
y'all cold blood.
It is, because Draper's doing something
Cold
really,
blood, right?
really like community oriented today. It's really
he's out in the community,
yeah,
but not here.
It's really
It's
a cool
cold
thing. It's really a cool thing that he's doing.
You know, I will say this though, we're starting, and we're not there yet, but they're 5 games? They're 5.5 games back, meaning the Spurs of the 10th spot. They're going to get close mathematically being out, and they're going to shut them down. And we're getting close. We're probably another 2 or 3 losses away.
We got to run a magic number for the 10th spot. If the Spurs just lose 7 more games, they'll be mathematically out, and the Kings will at least be in the 10th.
How about this magic number? It's how much somebody paid for a Wemby card. We're back with that. And Emeron next. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business. Whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place, in your neighborhood and on our app, so you can focus on doing what you love. Wells Fargo, you're good at business, we're good at business banking. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/business. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank and a member FDIC.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
1 ticket, 2 huge shows. The Sacramento Boat Show plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. Plus ATVs too. 2 shows. 1 massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show, plus the Big RV Show, March 6th through 9th at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
There's a reason why more and more people are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville. And it's not just because they're centrally located next to Hagan Oaks Golf Course. It's because they make the car buying experience different than anywhere else. Yeah, of course they can get you a great price. That's the easy part. Where their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team really make a difference is they don't believe you should have to sacrifice great customer service to get a great deal. Stomp on in today and see for yourself. That's Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something.
The huge President's Day sale is on at Maida Chevy, Sacramento's Silverado headquarters. Save $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on new half-ton Silverado LT after rebates with over 50 in stock. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,250 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
I'm George Washington, and I approved this message. Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. 5 to the Southern Mustang 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Emeron Pilat is with us. We've got a very interesting and unique collector's question from Kyle Ledbetter to get to in just a moment. First, I've been meaning to ask you about this, Emeron, because I know you have suggested, as a lot of people have, that with Wemby injured, some people are not sure about the market for his cards, and perhaps it has cooled somewhat. Well, we just I saw this today, a one-of-a-kind 2023-24 Panini Prism Nebula Choice Prism card. So that's a Wemby rookie card. It just sold in Golden's Auctions Winter 100 sale for $860,100.
Seems reasonable.
Wow.
Seems reasonable.
Wow.
And to clarify that closing happened after the blood clot was disclosed.
Yeah. So somebody figuring, hey, chance to jump on this, huh? Would you think that would have gone for more if he didn't have the health issues?
I don't know how much money he got.
Right.
What's left?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I believe that there are cards that should be of that dollar value. I don't know if that's what it is, but something's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, and it's pretty clear that somebody's willing to pay $860,100.
Yeah, a one of one, and it's not an auto card, is it?
I don't believe it is. Let me double check this.
Well, if it's Panini, it can't be, right?
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Look, my goodness, who is the expert here? It's you.
Yeah.
Yes, with his explicit. Excuse me. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say exclusive agreement with Fanatics. He cannot sign a Panini card because of his contract with Fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right.
Well,
this card is not signed.
Yeah. Kyle Ledbetter has a question for you. I know Kyle's
here?
Yeah. He's been talking about this on his show. I think I first heard about it on Carmichael Dave's show. It's something that's available to collectors, but are there even collectors of this? Here's Kyle Ledbetter. Hi, Kyle.
Hello. I wanted to look you in the eyes, Emeron, and ask you this question.
Stay focused.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Alan Styles Show, 10 to 2. Hi. Emeron.
That's enough of that.
Cut his mic.
Even though you're the guy in charge of doing it, he's just saying what he's going to do out loud.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut his mic. Go ahead, Kyle.
So the Woj collection. I've been fascinated by this for multiple days because it's basically like these insiders can create their own memorabilia economy out of basically nothing. And for those who are learning about this for the first time, Woj is auctioning off media credentials, his Walt Disney ID card, his old phones that he broke news with that are wiped. You just get a phone. But these things are going for thousands of dollars. You can also bid for like a dinner with 5 friends with Woj and all sorts of stuff. Like, are these insiders basically creating a memorabilia economy out of what was basically nothing?
You know, when you go to a museum and it's like, this is the special suit that was worn by the astronaut that was on the moon for the first time ever in history. And then you look, oh, this is the very first. I went to something in Aurora, Colorado when we were on vacation, and there was the first seat that was ejected out of a plane, first ejector seat they had created there in Aurora, Colorado. And you sit there and go, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. this is the first time that anything in the sports journalism world has been coming to market. And when you have a term like Woj bomb, this is clearly a pop culture phenomenon to where he was, before Shams, the guy that broke all the news before anybody ever knew. And when you have the phones, or you have the typewriter, or you have, like for Whitey, the first stone tablet that he used to read a live read before. Yeah, the hieroglyphics that were
to tell you about Bob Cousy.
Exactly.
Whitey, I just thank you for being, so old.
So when you have that kind of stuff, and it's a general public can own it, you want it. I'm a historian of basketball memorabilia. It's one of those things where I collect players' rookie of the years awards, MVP awards. I own college basketball jerseys of Hall of Famers. They'll never leave my collection. It's going to be one of those that I'm going to end up keeping forever, and maybe one day put on display for everybody to see. When you have this opportunity and you're a sports journalism fan like you're a career sports journalism guy. It's you. I'm pointing at you, Kyle, and you're going to take this for your career. These items are going to be such unique, one-of-a-kind things that you're never going to see Shams selling his phones, or at least you don't think he's going to.
To me, his phones, Woj's phones, and dinner with Woj, that's something you get if you lose a contest.
Right.
I wouldn't want any part of that.
Yeah.
If
maybe there's going to be a huge market, but I wouldn't want any part of it.
I'm looking at the auction as you told me where to go. I'm looking at the online right now, Kyle, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to make sure that the audience knows what we're talking about. I mean, these are some serious numbers. He's got a phone that he broke the news on. He talks about each phone and which phone broke the news of which item that he said.
Yeah, so there's like one from the summer of 2019, which is like Kawhi and Paul George.
Here it is, $5,000 high offer, closes in just under 6 days.
And what is that? What type of phone?
It's
iPhone?
an iPhone used to do such.
XR or something?
Correct.
Yeah.
Phone XR.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Yeah, so you're going to get
I get one of those for about $200 on the open market.
Yeah, but
right
it wasn't
now.
Woj's.
But that's the thing. If I was talking,
is it authenticated by PSA phone scoop authentication?
It's
that was good.
The DNA, PSA DNA. Yeah. He's got credentials. How about the draft credentials of the Wemby draft? So you get the Woj picture of Woj on there.
All got that,
I was like, that
yeah,
one.
No, but you don't have the one that has Woj's picture and his name on there.
I don't want the one that got Woj's picture on there.
And that one is $900 right now.
Yeah, and I was talking to Alan about this. If the phone came with like some contacts or information, like that would be hugely useful. But you're just getting a wiped phone. It's a blank phone that is going to go essentially in a framing case and sit on your wall. So I understand the memorabilia economy. I just think it's interesting that you've created something new out of basically what was nothing, which is newsbreakers, artifacts, memorabilia,
How about
those
this?
sorts.
Amadrock says, this tells me Shams trades in his phones when he upgrades to get the discount on the trade-in. Woj just bought it straight up.
That's a real flex.
They also probably have 3 or 4 phones at a time. So he's kind of like, I've got 2 or 3 more in the back here.
So I know you were talking about making a bid, but you're not going to bid on this now,
Well,
are
so
you?
I'm going to bid on something right now.
So that was the joke, is that you don't have to put in a credit card information or anything. So I wanted to do the joke on air of bidding for something, but then the prices were like thousands of dollars.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't even joke about putting in a bid for $5,000 for a phone he broke the Anthony Davis trade on. That just seems irresponsible.
I could buy his high offer right now for his ESPN ID badge that he used from 2017 to 2024, $2,100. Picture of Woj, and it has his little ID credential.
And
Let's do it.
It says Walt Disney Company on it.
I'm not getting it.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
I'm
understand
far from
it.
Yeah.
This was my other question too. So this only exists for the top of the top newsbreakers. Like, no disrespect to the Jake Fishers or whoever else. It's only Woj and Shams, and you mentioned Adam Schefter probably.
Yep.
There's only probably 4 or 5 people who would command a theoretical price like this, probably.
Yeah, I would say that it would line up with pop culture, truly. If you think about some of the guys that have turned into sports journalism, pop culture figures.
Well, how much for Frankie Cardicelli's phone?
I mean, would he ever let that thing go?
I'm not sure.
Probably
The
not.
one that he was on when he was talking to us, and he got a call on the air.
He
Trying to
did?
do an interview.
Sorry, I'm getting another call.
Jay with the quickness on these buttons.
How much for that phone? I wonder.
I just think that the more popular the pop culture guy would be, the better. I think if, like, say, for example, Pat McAfee put something out there right now, he would be.
But he's a former player.
Agreed, but he was the punter for the Colts and whatever, right? But now the guy is like pop culture everything.
So Pat McAfee would be just pop culture sports figures at
It
large.
would go for way more.
So basically, he's a celebrity.
Right. If you
More or
had
less.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
Smith's
Right.
phone, that'd
Gotcha.
be huge.
Yeah.
It would crush whatever it
Emeron,
was.
I have a basketball question here that's going to get us back to the Kings, but also relate to what.
Well,
we're
there's a
talking
guy,
about here.
Andres, in the chat going, when are we not done talking about cards with the card guy? Well,
Brandon
then-
Dietzman says, I just opened up a 1 of 5 Keon Ellis auto. How much might that be?
Is that what he asked? I think he's just flexing. Thank you, Brandon. I think that's great.
Yeah, I just opened up a 1 of 5 Keon Ellis auto. So my question is, how much?
Brand? What? Yeah, like what?
How much is it worth?
Yeah.
Need a little more
around here
information?
than it is
If I was to
anywhere
look it up, probably like $8.
Really?
Yeah, but if somebody wanted Keon Ellis autograph and Brandon wanted to sell it and he said, "Hey, I want $50 for it," oh, it's a 1 of 5, probably $50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
$50.
Yeah, but we know how good he's going to be, so we know
Of
how
course
much
we
it's
do.
going to be worth. Yeah. So-
Hold it. Don't sell it.
Wow, that's the only time you've ever said that about anything, Jay.
Yeah, very true. Anytime that Emeron comes on, I sell it.
Get rid of it as quickly as possible.
All right, did you get your answer, Kyle Ledbetter?
I got
Well,
my
he had
answers
to.
and more. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Didn't matter if he got it or not. It was going
And
to
in the year 2065, there'll be an auction of Kyle Ledbetter's microphone that he used on February 27th, 2025, where he asked that old guy the question. How much is worth? Yeah, the 98-year-old card guy. That's me.
When we come back with the Emeron, when's the last time the Kings had this much talent on the bench? And I got to ask him about that guy in Colorado who invented a new way to scam card collectors. That and more with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Sacktown Sports is bringing you the biggest live events in town. Whether you're rocking out or dancing the night away, check out the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Crank it up with Steel Panther at Ace of Spades on March 15th. Then catch rising country star Alexandra Kay the next night, March 16th, also at Ace of Spades. On March 22nd, experience the magic of the Ronstadt Review featuring Jasenia at the Crest Theater. Then get ready for an epic night Papa Roach and Rise Against take over Golden One Center March 29th, while comedy legends Jay Leno and Arsenio Hall bring the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on that same night. And for country fans, Lee Brice and Walker Hayes hit Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st, and Parker McCullum takes the stage August 16th at the Ironstone Amphitheater up in Murphys, California. Don't miss out. Find more info and score your chance to win tickets at SacktownSports.com. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar. Your ticket to the best seat in the house.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Emeron Pilat is here. We had Doug Christie on earlier. You want to check out SacktownSports.com for that interview. We may have some of that, at least some of it, coming up here on the show. But Emeron, we were just talking about Kings cards. Brandon Dietzman said he pulled a 1 of 5 Keon Ellis. Then he comes back and says, I meant pull it out of an eBay package since I bought the single, LOL.
And we see the comp. We see what he paid for it. So anybody that wants to see what he paid for it is public knowledge. I won't out it online, but it was slightly higher than what I had estimated. But he also didn't tell me what type of. It's $80. He also didn't tell me what type of card it was, because it could have been a lot of varietals.
23-24 Phoenix Green.
I know what it is. I see it. And I didn't want to disclose that either, but you'll probably. We'll edit this out.
It's right there in the chat. So
yeah, excellent card. And Keon's getting quite a few minutes now. I think he's 25 plus minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, sometimes I'm looking at him all, where's Levine? You'll see key guys out and you'll see Keon in. So Doug's putting that trust in him, and I love seeing that. And he's hitting them threes.
Yes,
love
that's
it.
If the Kings are going to get anywhere close to wink 53s, Doug talked to us today about how he came up with that number, and he says, I looked at how many some of these guys could take. My point is, I think he looks at Keon as a guy who could take even more threes because he's
shooting
lights out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. I'm really happy to see a guy organically earn his way into the minutes that he's gotten through hard work, hustle. I mean, that's the lunchbox player that we love here in Sacramento.
I hate to overreact, as a Kings fan, to anything happening now. This guy's the best. They're the best. This is the best. But I think this bench that the Kings have right now, Keon, a big part of it, it's one of the most talented benches the Kings have had in a long time. I don't know how good it's going to be as a bench because you'll see how it comes together. We'll see. And they don't play them as a unit. They don't here's the bench bunch. They don't play them that way.
Bench bunch?
Yeah, or the bench mob.
There you go. I was going to say the 2001 bench mob is who I'm thinking of.
Right. But they don't all play together. And I think that those guys did, or a lot of them did. But when you got Jonas and you got Keon and you got now Fultz, assuming that, wow, he's still a player, and LaRavia, that's a pretty good bench, especially compared to what they had just a short time ago.
Do you remember the old bench mob, the original bench mob, 2001?
John Barry,
Scott
Pollard,
correct.
Lawrence Funderburg,
correct. You're forgetting Bobby Jackson.
Oh, of course, Bobby
Jackson.
See,
Who
I was
else?
a Derek Martin guy, but
Hito.
Yeah,
Team Cleaves.
I don't know.
Team on that one.
I don't know if Hito was in the first bench mob. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
But
some iteration of it for sure.
Yes.
I mean, they had a really strong bench. It was one. No, Brockman was too late.
What I remember hearing is there was a dispute between John Barry and Derek Martin as to who came up with the term bench mob.
And those are things that we should find about.
I think John Barry I think it was his, and he ended up making money with the T-shirts and stuff. But
did he?
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, because he was struggling before that financially.
Right.
But as far as the current bench, I mean, I like that Doug is letting them play more minutes, especially considering that these dog days coming down the stretch in these last 20-ish games, a lot of tired legs coming in. You don't have the most youngest guys like DeMar. Anytime that you could save minutes of DeMar during periods 2 and 3, and you're able to give guys extended run, that's gonna be great during the stretch. I like LaRavia's activity. I love Jonas has been fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Just especially.
It's like some movie or something, right? Where they bring in some guy from Lithuania, like a ringer, and the other team can't guard him.
And
last
he
night,
hit,
Philip
and he hit that three.
No chance.
He
Yeah.
hit that three
Uh-huh.
last night. It's fun to watch guys cheer. We were watching starters cheering from the bench.
Yeah.
Watching their guys go. It's a good feeling. And while we've beaten teams that we should have, this is the momentum that we need going into the Bostons and the OKC games.
Yeah, Keon last night, we didn't know if he's going to play. He's questionable because he tweaked his ankle Monday. He plays 33 minutes. It's 4 of 5 from the floor, 3 of 4 on 3-pointers. Jay, am I being, sugarcoating it as everything the Kings do is great when I say this is one of the best benches they've had, most talented benches in a long time?
No, I think you're spot on.
I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. There's definitely some talent, and the one thing about what makes it a good bench is they're not only serviceable. I always look at if I needed someone to start, who could jump in. I think Jonas is definitely a starter on certain teams throughout this league now. A little longer in the tooth, but he's still a baller. We know Keon's been fighting for minutes here. I think if you take a look at it, if it didn't really work out the way that it did for Devin Carter, maybe Devin Carter could start somewhere. Yeah, lottery pick. Might be able to start somewhere.
I think it's a great point because that's one good way to look at how good a bench is. Well, how many of those guys could actually be starting here or somewhere else? And I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's legitimately at least 2 guys that you could say are good enough to be starters.
Jessica sent me a photo of Beckett watching our show, so I was a little thrown off there for a second. But did you mention Fultz?
No.
I mean, Fultz,
I mentioned him.
Fultz is looking great. You and I were at the game together watching the game, and we're like, whoa, look at Fultz go.
Yeah, I
mean,
missed that part. I was getting somebody popcorn.
That's okay. That's okay. You were pocketing $130 on it too. But yeah, Fultz looks really great, and he's really sinking in with the team pretty well.
Yeah.
And we've seen Trey Lyles start a few games here for Sacramento as well.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
I didn't mention Trey Lyles. Yeah.
When you leave out Trey Lyles, that tells you how deep that bench is.
Yeah, because it was just not that long ago where he was the bench almost.
It was pretty bad.
Right, for a long time.
Yeah. I would go back. I mean, even 06, 07 when you had Bonzi and Sharif and guys like that coming off the bench.
Yep.
So we'll see because these guys just got here and we don't know how it's all going.
What a team with Bonzi Wells.
Bonzi was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Bonzi's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
It's no question of who he is as a character. It's just when you're highlighting Bonzi Wells as your bench guy, it's just.
But he was a beast here for his shortened season. Yeah, he was doing his thing here.
Yeah, we were getting ready to talk to him. He was on our show once a week.
Okay.
And at the time, this was around that time, so social media wasn't big or anything. But he's on the phone and he doesn't know he's on the air. And we get ready for a playoff series where I think they ended up playing the Spurs. But Bonzi's talking to somebody and goes, "Oh yeah, we definitely want to play Phoenix. That's who we want to play." Like, "Oh, Bonzi, you're on the air." Just think now that would have been a huge thing.
Oh yeah, come on, man.
No one even noticed it, but now it'd be a huge story.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing tweeted out within 2 minutes. Bonzi Wells just said he prefers to play. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah,
you already know. It's an interesting conversation to have because one thing about it is we've talked about the Kings, starting 5 for a little bit this season, and now we're talking about how strong this bench looks.
Yeah,
man, that's different ends of the spectrum. Beginning of the season, we were worried about people starting.
Yeah, good point.
And I know the bench now. There's a lot more talent than Mike Brown had to work with. That's verifiable. But he was by his own admission, he was searching for things. He was searching. Well, now Doug has better players, but Doug seems to have a really good handle on his bench players, when to play them, and they know when they're going to play. And that didn't take long. And I think the players and Doug deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Man, you don't have to apologize. Go ahead, brother. We talking.
I was just saying to myself, I was looking at the news today with Pop coming out and speaking to the Spurs team and saying, I'm hopeful in the future I'm able to come back to coaching, but I'm out this year. Boy, isn't this a lineup right now, right? You've got Darren that says, if you fire Mike Brown, that's the only coach I want to play for. Mike is without a job. Pop may not come back. This might line up for Mike Brown coming back.
Right. Whitey said that a couple of days ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I stole it from somebody else.
when you and I had breakfast that morning, I brought it up. And yes, I did. And you go, hey, he goes, he said to me, "Have you ever heard of the case method, Emeron?" And I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Copy and steal everything. Right. I'll be on the air well before you come in on Thursday, and I'll take it as my own."
It was super interesting for me too, and I want to ask you about this, Emeron, is when you sit down and look at, we've had people ask you these questions. When they come to Sacramento, players, I should say, when players come to Sacramento and you being based here, do you see a little spike, a little bump in some of those players like a Zach LaVine or, like Valanciunas, maybe not, but let's just say Zach LaVine. Do you see a little bump in the price for his cards?
Only on rookie
locally?
Cards. They're willing to buy the rookie cards of them. So you'll see a DeMar DeRozan Raptors 2009. He was the rookie year, same as DeMar
DeRozan's rookie cards is 61 Fleer, isn't it?
You're so dumb.
No, he's not that young.
Yeah, so that was 2009 when DeMar DeRozan was picked. That was the same year as Curry.
My
he was picked behind Curry, but
yeah.
So you'll see that, but you won't see other cards of his sell until they have a Kings version of the card. Then they're going to jump all over it. They'd much rather have that.
I've asked you this a million times. I'm still waiting to see if it happens. Have you experienced any kind of baseball bump or surge in enthusiasm in A's cards yet? Maybe you never will.
What do you mean we'll never will?
Well, maybe it won't. Just maybe, I don't know. Maybe at your shop.
You ask the people that are paying $250 for standing room only tickets on opening day if they're enthusiastic about this game. We had my friend Zach Beyruti, who's the voice of the River Cats, on Saturday's show with us, and Zach talked about the exciting players coming up that are going to come through Sacramento, and they're going to see them live for the first time. People like Brent Rooker.
Mm-hmm. He's been around a while,
right? But they're going to get to see him up close for 82 games, 81 games, or whatever the number is. We're going to see Lawrence Butler. We're going to see some of these guys. I think that out of sight, out of mind. But as soon as they're in sight, there's definitely going to be interest. And I think Lawrence Butler is the guy that people are going to jump all over.
What's the second baseman's name again?
Mark Kotze?
Zach
Geloff.
Zach Geloff?
Yeah.
Geloff?
Emeron struggles with his name. I was going to see it.
Geloff?
Zach Geloff.
Geloff?
Vice versa. You said out of sight, out of mind. Have you seen people come in ready to dump the De'Aaron Fox card?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Seriously, really?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I want to get rid of this. Why? I don't like him anymore.
Dang.
Okay, well then, am I supposed to like him?
Right.
Well, yeah. The card's worth $100. Will you give me $97 for it? No. I have to sell those at $60. He's quickly becoming a figure based on just my temperature that I'm gauging. Yeah, informal observation. He's becoming one of the more despised players.
Oh, really?
Very quickly. I think that the last 2 weeks with his commentary that's been out there publicly, whether it's true or not or whatever, I think that he's just kind of like, wow, we didn't know that you felt this way. The fan base is saying, wow, we didn't know that you really were feeling this hardship. They didn't like the unfollow of Sabonis on social media. They didn't like that at all. So I think you have a lot of people that have been De'Aaron Fox collectors and saying, let's move on. They're not necessarily saying, give me Zach LaVine, but they're saying, let's move on. And the one that's being picked up in the most interest has been Monk by far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people just love him.
What's a Monk rookie going for?
Not much. Really? You can get a PSA 10 Monk rookie for around $30.
Gotcha.
So an affordable option of a guy that's just exciting, shows his heart every game, tries really hard. Could try a little bit harder on defense, but that's okay. He's offensively amazing. So and he's facilitating like crazy. There was a pass last night where he threw it he caught it one-handed, threw it one-handed from past the 3-point line. It may have been the Charlotte game, but I believe it was last night's game. It was incredible. Threw it into the paint, and I think it was Lyles that dunked it.
Mm-hmm.
He threw it from corner three area.
Did you watch the game?
I'm literally a chat GPT right now. The game was wonderful. The team did well.
Malik seems to be developing chemistry with one of his teammates in particular. We're back with that. And Emeron Pilat is the Drive Guys roll on Sacktown Sports.
This Saturday, Kings and Rockets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3:30. Tip off at 5.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with 0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Emeron Pilat is here. Pardon me. I had to text an important matter to our immediate superior. Emeron Pilat.
It must be your wife.
No. Can I tell you, though, I walked into a buzzsaw yesterday.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if it was my fault, but maybe it was. So I came home yesterday. We got off work early. So I come home, and Sheena she's getting dinner ready, and she's happened to be slicing some russet potatoes. So I come in, and she's doing stuff. Hi, how you doing? And I wanted to go in the back room and get on the bike a little bit before the game started.
Oh, boy.
So I'm thinking, well, I just got home. I've been gone all day. I don't want to just duck into the back. And then she's wondering where I went. So we do these puzzles on the phone every day. We do them together, like connections and Wordle and strands. And it's kind of a thing we do together. So she's doing the thing, and I want to ask if she wants to do something before I go to the back room. So I say, did you want to do puzzles now? She goes, I'm cooking dinner. Can't you see I'm cooking dinner? And I was like, well, I just wanted to. So I was trying to be considerate, and she took it as me being inconsiderate by not recognizing that she was busy. And we talked about it, worked it out. But I just feel like, is there any other way I could have? Is there something else I could have done, or did I walk right? Was it me? It wasn't my fault. This is a charge or a block, and I'm going to Secaucus for the review. I got called for the charge. I think it was a block.
You are a very boring man. So then I was like, do you want to play Wordle? And then she was like, you want to play categories on her phone? And then she was like, what are you talking about? I'm actually cooking. So you don't want to play Wordle? Is this really happening right now on the radio?
Why you are a boy like that? Whitey lives an entertaining life, man. You ain't know?
Do you want to go outside, Sheena, and we'll play with a stick and a ball?
We play those games all the time, and I was just wondering, do you want to do that now? Like, do you want to do something together?
Oh, that's sweet, though. That is sweet.
Or, because I didn't want to just say, hey, I'm going to go on the bike.
Straight to the back.
Instead, she took it as, don't you see what I'm doing? Don't you
recognize
that
cooking.
I'm working?
I probably would have said, this is me.
Yeah.
I probably would have said, hey, babe, I hope it was all good. How was your day? Spoke to her. You need any help with the cooking or anything? yes, no, and then I just be like, all right, I'm gonna go jump on the bike.
I think you're right.
Look at that.
I think it was the way
Thursday night quarterback. He's calling the right plays right now.
So the Secaucus is confirming the call. It's a charge. It's on me.
Because Jay's wife's like, oh, really? You going to give advice right now?
All right, you ain't lying. You ain't lying, right? Come on now.
Oh, really? Is that what's happening?
Man.
Is that what he should do?
That's right. Both phones are getting right. They're both going.
And then 10 years from now, this is the phone that my wife called me on. And we're going to auction this off.
We're going to bust this down right now. Matter of fact, it's going to be over True Sports Cars Auctioneers.
I think you're right, Jay, even though I meant well.
Yeah.
Because when it first happened, I was like, what just happened? But
Right.
thinking about it, I was like, okay, I probably should have approached it a little different. I was just in a hurry to get to the back and get on the bike. So it's like, hey, do you want to do the puzzles now? Or
Yeah.
So
you know what you do
right,
more
right.
times than not?
You're
when
right.
it's something that's real and it's organic, you know what, babe? I see you doing a little work. I'm gonna hit the bike.
I should leave you alone because you want to concentrate on that.
Yeah. I'll let you do your work.
Do you? Was the food good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd she make? What'd she make?
Well, she made the russet potatoes and then some carrots, and then I went and got the chicken from El Pollo, and we had that.
There you go. I like it. Little combination plate.
Yeah. But you make it sound so simple, Jay.
It's not. It's
just
only
blew
simple
away,
when
yeah.
I'm not in it. If
Yeah.
I was in it, I'd be asking you the same thing.
All right. We worked it all out. Plus, she's feeling a little bit. She was sad yesterday.
This feels like
She said goodbye
therapy.
to our dog.
Oh,
Yeah, a while ago.
as I said that, I'm so insensitive. I go, this feels like therapy, and you go, oh, it's because of our dog. I'm all, oh,
Real quick, Emeron,
stop talking.
I'll bring this back. I'll bring this back to you.
That's why I
from the
asked Jay and not you.
Right.
You're cross-eyed. You're looking right at me when you said it. You need to get your eyes fixed.
From the 916, Emeron, what's the best way to get started collecting cards?
Have an idea of the budget that you want to spend before you start spending. I'll give you a quick example. There's a guy that I know of who has increased his passion for cards. He's in his early 70s, I believe. At least he looks that way.
Okay.
And he started buying stuff at Barnes & Noble, just kind of just walking in and seeing these blaster boxes on the Barnes & Noble shelf. And it was like, these seem like a good deal. I'm going to buy them. So he'd go into his creaky wallet, pull out money, and then buy it. And then he was like, how come I'm not getting anything good?
Right.
Because he was staying within the budget that he felt comfortable with at that time.
Okay.
Since then, he's taken on a radio show. It's called The Drive Guys, and Whitey Gleason is what his name is. And what I'm getting at is that stay within the budget and really just find something that you'd find enjoyment in to begin with before worrying about the values of things. Once the values come into play, it's more
business.
Yeah, it's more business or
less
more like
hobby,
an investment,
right?
less hobby. So I would stay in the gleeful area of enjoying opening packs or doing something like, for example, Whitey will take a box and open it with, I believe it's your daughter and you that will.
Yeah, daughters. Yeah.
Daughters plural.
Yeah.
We'll open boxes together for enjoyment, having a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
When you could still do that, that's what I would suggest doing, because that'll foster the passion and getting you involved and maybe saying, I'll take a chance at more of an investment later, but right now it's about enjoying it.
It's fun until they open something that's worthwhile, and I'll snatch it out of their hands. Wash your hands and put it in a sleeve right away. That's when it's not.
You snatch it?
Give me that. What are you doing? Wash your hands or wear gloves. $7 card. What's wrong with you?
I'm going to out somebody that comes into our store, but I don't know his name, but he comes in often with his grandson. Okay. And I'm like, the kid is traumatized because the granddad is like, why are you opening packs like that? Oh man, you need to organize them. What is wrong? You're being too rough with him. I'm like, oh my goodness, just let the poor kid's like 3. He's 10, but I'm like, just let the kid enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's not enjoyable. So, I have to scold this guy. And I think I just did on the radio.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So learn your lesson, Grandpa.
He's probably a mummy anyway. Okay. We're going to replay. Jay and I earlier talked to Doug Christie this afternoon. We want to play that for you. It was.
Are we ever going to get to the scam? You tease the scam every show.
Right. I got a couple
and then you keep going past it.
Wait a minute.
I want to talk about this scam.
One more.
Jay's laughing on the mic. He could easily mute himself. He chooses not to just laugh.
Because why he's calling folks mummies? Someone called in anonymously, wants to know first game here, Arco Arena.
Oh, good question.
LeBron James, rookie year program.
Everything comes down to condition. If the thing doesn't look like it's ever been opened, it's probably worth about $400.
No way.
Yeah.
Then what's the ticket worth?
I told you, thousands.
$400 for the program?
Yeah.
I gotta go home and check some.
I'm sure you have plenty of them sitting stacks.
I have 3.
I have about 17, and they were donated.
Tickets or programs?
Programs.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to figure out when they're donated, and somebody says, we had this in our garage, we donate them. I'm not a big fan of not compensating somebody for it, so I'm going to look to see what they, if they left their information at the shop, then we'll just sell them and then donate to wherever they wanted to donate to.
All right, because you asked for it. According to a criminal complaint, this 84-year-old Colorado man, he was selling and trading fake Michael Jordan rookie basketball cards and other trading cards. He netted more than $800,000 in sales over 4 years. What he did, though, he took cards that were ungraded, then somehow he's able to put them into counterfeit PSA slabs that said they were 10s, and then he would sell them. And he made a lot of money doing that. So I think
cards?
The cards were real, Jay, but he slabbed. It's kind of complicated.
Them out. Gotcha.
Slabbed them as 10s, graded 10s, and they were not graded at all. And so people bought that. Well, it's a graded 10. That's I don't know what's a graded 10 86 Jordan worth.
$180,000.
Yeah. See, there you go. Yeah.
So
he's accused of telling potential customers that the cards were graded by PSA. In fact, they were not graded according to the complaints.
This is a confusing complaint.
It is.
Was it graded or not?
Not graded. They were counterfeit graded. He sold them as this is a graded 10. It wasn't graded by anybody. That's how he.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how he got his.
What a sophisticated criminal mastermind at 84 years old.
Right.
Is this something that happened recently, or he's 84 now and they caught him from something he did a long time ago?
He started doing this in 2015. A victim in New York met McNeil, and then according to what did he do here? Victim wired him $4,500 for a PSA 10 Jordan rookie card.
That's stupid in the first place. You're a dummy for doing that.
He received it by mail.
The card's worth
determined to be fake.
Oh, you think? $180,000 card was purchased for $4,500, and you just now found out it's fake?
Mm-hmm. He says he did nothing wrong. The assistant director in charge of the FBI's New York field office says, as alleged, Mr. McNeil defrauded sports memorabilia collectors of more than $800,000 by intentionally misrepresenting the authenticity of the trading cards he was peddling when, in fact, they were counterfeit.
Do you know much about shoes, like sneakers? Or
no, but there's a guy who does.
All right, so I'm going to ask the guy that doesn't know, as in you, Whitey.
Yeah.
So a pair of Jordans are brand new. They're ready to be purchased. And you go, hey, Jordans, great. And I said, tell you what, I'll sell them to you for $30. What's your first thing that you're going to say?
I'm going to say, let me talk to Emeron. He's going to give me $160 to get popcorn. Obviously, yeah, it's like, well, that's obviously they're fake.
I mean, it's even worse equivalent. I gave you an example, but it's like selling $300 Jordan shoes for $5. And the guy goes, I'm going to come up. Let me get my $5 over to you. Wait a minute. They're fake. Start with knowing what you're buying. And if the true value of a card is $180,000 from basic research and you bought it for $4,500, can't fix stupid.
Yeah.
You just can't fix stupid. So shout out 84-year-old. He's like, what did I have left to go?
He says he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. We're going to hear what Doug Christie had to say. We have Doug Christie's interview. I think you want to play that at like 11 after, Jay. We could wrap things up with Emeron. So we'll look at the Kings here. As I told you, Malik has developed some chemistry with one teammate in particular. We'll look at that. We have that coming up with Emeron, and then we have the replay of our interview with Doug Christie that you can't miss. That more coming up with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
This Saturday, Kings and Rockets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3:30. Tip off at 5.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry are here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Miniature golf has been around America since 1916, with the first course opening in Pinehurst, North Carolina, according to Links magazine. Englishman James Barber built a course in his backyard called Lilliputian. A few years later, he built a second course and called it Thistledew. Unlike today's mini golf courses, Thistledew wasn't for children. The 18-hole course was made of compacted sand and clay, making it quite difficult. Today's clown mouths or windmills were nowhere to be found, as the course featured real hazards like rocks, trees, and grass bunkers. 4 holes even required a high-lofted niblick to carry bushes and long grass. Longest hole was 71 feet, shortest was 12. Golf fanatic Thomas McCullough Fairbairn revolutionized the game in 1922 with his formulation of a suitable artificial green consisting of a mixture of cottonseed hulls, sand, oil, and dye. 100 years later, Thistledew has returned to its home at Pinehurst Resort, and guests can play the new Thistledew. Please leave your niblick at home. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
1 ticket, 2 huge shows. The Sacramento Boat Show plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. Plus ATVs too. 2 shows, 1 massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show, plus the Big RV Show, March 6th through 9th at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Where does the roller coaster go from here? The Kings with 2 straight wins over bad teams. Now the road trip gets tougher. The schedule in March, very daunting. But if you're a Kings fan, you know that, all right, yeah, bring it. Let's see. This, compared to most of the Kings seasons in Sacramento, this is a pretty interesting season because the games still matter here as we head into March. Earlier today, we talked with Doug Christie, wide-ranging conversation. We're going to replay that for you here in, just a couple of minutes. So, Emeron, I hope you can stick around for that. Emeron Pilat is with us. The 2 Kings that seem to really be developing some chemistry, and I know Katie mentioned this last night on the broadcast. Don't you think Malik and Zach LaVine, especially when it comes to some of the open court, long passes, get out in the break, they really seem to be starting to develop some chemistry?
I'm digging it. And what they're doing is they're really the herky-jerky ins and outs of the inside the 3-point, outside the 3-point. It's throwing off the defense. They're really on their heels. I'm really enjoying Zach's step-back threes. It's really kind of a nice look to see swish or miss. He's bullseye with a lot of his shots.
Some of those, he's not going to make that. Ooh.
His heat check last night was pretty funny, though.
Yeah,
he airballed his heat check
yes.
To start the game. But, I'm enjoying Zach more and more each game now that I'm getting to watch him.
That's our new guy in Sacramento, right?
He really is. He's really special, and I'm glad that we have him, for sure.
As far as shooting 53s a game, Doug Christie addresses that and other things. We talked to Doug today. We want to play that for you now. We begin by asking Doug Christie, and he joined us he's in Houston, right, Jay? Yeah, just asking him, hey, Coach, how are you doing?
In a real way. That's a way to bring them in. I like it, guys.
Come on now, I got you, man.
No doubt. I'm good, man. Always working, trying to figure it out, and that's really where I'm at, man. Just trying to decipher the puzzle and put our best product out there on the floor, gentlemen.
Coach, can I ask you, now that you've had a chance to look at it maybe and think about it, what has pleased you the most about the last 2 wins?
Just the ability to continue to fight and work on us. That's been our biggest, my biggest messaging to them is this isn't really about our opponent right now. It's about, because we don't have the ability to have training camp. We don't have the ability to have some things. So a lot of what we're working on, we're doing it in live action. We're working on it on the floor, go back and get the video, whatever practice time that we're able to have, shoot arounds anytime, just trying to be as efficient as possible. So the fact that guys are playing hard and trying to figure out some of those things on the fly and understanding the messaging of working on us on a night-to-night basis.
Coach, one of the things that we hear about here quite often is how hard you work, how much you put in, how much effort you rock, and how much you put every single day. And I think it shows with the team that's coming on the floor. Are you starting to see a little bit of some of your persona in some of this team? Or are you seeing some of the fight that you've brought to, all the Sacramento Kings fans have come to know you for?
Yeah, I see it in spurts, and I think that's probably, when I talk about working on us, that's one of the biggest things is there's a level of consistency that we see with the really good teams, and that's what we're trying to find, and that is me trying to hold them accountable, but when you take it to that next level, it's about them holding each other accountable on a night-to-night basis. And, I do see it. And I really, to be honest with you, since, we've gotten into this, I've seen it early on. Like, there were times when we were down double digits, and it's become a thing that they continue to fight. They continue to grind and try to fight their way back into the game. And then once they get a hold of it, now we're trying to learn on how to, and to kind of squeeze it and just put opponents away. And it's a process to everything that you do in this league. But I'm really proud of the guys' attention to detail, trying to do all the right things. Does it go right all the time? No, it does not. But it is not from, even when I look at the turnovers and things like that, they're not selfish turnovers, like the alley-oops and different things. Guys are trying to move the basketball. They're trying to make plays for each other. And a little bit it comes from thinking. But, as you say, my personality on this team is hopefully, as we continue to go down this path, is the fight, the determination, the willingness to sacrifice, and we play as hard as hell.
Oh, that's a lot to be asking, man. Come on.
Coach Doug Christie, as you mentioned, Coach, you guys don't have a training camp here, and practice time is precious. I'm assuming that's why you left the starters in as long as you did last night, because every moment of those groups together on the floor are so precious right now as you try to figure your way forward with this group?
Yes and no. Early on, I can't remember what game it was. I remember subbing the starters out. It was like 4 minutes to go, and there was a couple buckets, and I was thinking, nah, never again. So, yeah, no, it is a little bit of that as well, is trying to allow them, because they don't get reps and different things like that. And you cannot mimic. I don't care how much practice time you do. I don't care how hard your training camp is. You cannot mimic game reps. So trying to make sure that, in those moments, if they're going to be trapping, if they're going to be blitzing, trying to get into your offense, just different things, even on the defensive end, what calls are we in? And I was messaging that as I was standing up there. I'm like, listen, the game's going on, but I'm saying, guys, we're working on ourselves. Like, pick up, touch man, touch ball. This is about us. It's not about them. And we have to do that. We got to use every single thing that we can, try to be as efficient in practice as we can, multitasking, but at the same time, trying to make sure that we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's and not letting anything slip. It's a lot of fun. I will tell you that.
Joined by head coach of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie. All right, enough of my basketball questions. I'll let Whitey kick those over to you, Doug. I'm more worried about the choice of the kicks every single game, or how you picking out what locker, what shoe you wearing per game, man. Do you put the Nikes for the purple, or are you rocking the Vans, or where are you going each game? How you choose the footwear?
Yeah, I'm not a Van guy. Right now, I'm on these black Travis Scotts, Jordan 1 lows. Yeah, I'm kind of a Jordan 1 low. Wifey bought me a pair of Gucci's. I wore them once. We lost, so it wasn't.
You just quietly put it back up.
That wasn't wise, but I'm. Yeah, there's no method to the madness, man. It's more of a feel, but I enjoy my kicks, man.
That's right.
No doubt.
That's right.
Yeah, Doug. Obviously, Coach Christie. Pardon me. One of the things that fans love about you being the coach is you were one of the favorites on the best team in Kings history. So we had a question here from a fan in the chat, and Tina wanted to know, what did you learn from Rick Adelman? Was it to give players freedom and let them play to the best of their abilities?
It's a good question, actually. I learned a lot from Coach Adelman, but what I learned from him that probably translates to the coaching aspect of it was just that, like trying to get them to buy into what we're doing, but to be selfless in the way that they approach the game. And that's where, when I was talking to you guys about the turnovers, like, it's from a selfless act. It's not like, you're not forcing the shot and then you don't have anything and you're throwing the ball away. It's like they're driving, they're trying to kick it, they're swinging it, it's getting intercepted. But, all of the things are right. Maybe the read was incorrect. I think that was one of Adelman's great strengths, was it started with Webb, Vlade, Peja, and you go down, like, everyone has skills and everybody could do a lot of things, but it was always the selflessness of the betterment of the team. And that was, I think, one of his greatest gifts is his ability to figure out a way that we all bought into that, and trying to take that and bring that to Kings basketball again, at the same time being a style of basketball that is not only winning, but it's also beautiful to watch for the fans. And I think they always enjoyed coming because it was a show. You know, we're here to play, but we're also putting on the show for our people. And when they come into the arena, we want them to be proud of Sacramento, proud of the Kings, but also beat the hell out of people at the same time.
Joined by Coach Christie of the Sacramento Kings. Coach, something that's super hot around here in Sacramento, and I think I get asked this more than anything, any question about who and what you are, is the secret messages on the whiteboard before the game. Yeah. And I've seen, some of the reporters down and, jump into the locker room and try to break the code.
Like
I'm not
DS. DS was one for the Warrior game. Yeah.
Look, don't give the secrets, but what's the thought process and talking about method of the madness? What's the whiteboard talking about every single game?
It's a good one. I mean, it just kind of happened organically. Like one of the first games, I put something up on the board, and it was MTFU. And I asked them, and I won't say what they thought that it meant because it was like, I was like, no, but that's good though. I was like, I like that. I can be like, you got A and B, but it was make them feel us. And so from there, it just kind of took its own thing. And, like I read a lot of books, especially when I'm driving, I'm listening to a lot of books and different things that I find interesting. A lot of them are like autobiographies because I like to hear people's stories. And a lot of times there's pain and overcoming adversity and a lot of different things that apply to a lot that these guys are experiencing. And whether it's my experiences or reading or whatever it is, the message just kind of comes throughout the day. It's not anything that I'm trying to think of or anything. Some of them come a couple minutes, before I get to the arena. And then I write it up there. Sometimes they guess it correctly. They have, because now it kind of becomes a thing with them. They're looking at it like, what the heck is he talking about? You know what I mean? And some are a little deeper than others. Some aren't. It's just, an acronym for what I'm thinking. But that's all it is, man. It's just trying to, I always used to say, even on TV and on radio, is, part of, I think, my job is to get them mentally in the lather. Like they go on the floor and they get themselves physically in the lather. That's sweating. But I need their minds to wake up, and I need their minds to be involved, and I need their minds to be thinking of whatever that messaging is, because the messaging is always going to be positive. It's always going to be about us. It's always going to be about winning. It's always going to be about us doing the things that we need to do to be successful. So that's really all it is.
Coach, we've been talking a lot since Monday night. We've been talking about the fact that you said, hey, 38 threes, I think it was against Charlotte. You said that's a little light. My new number is 50. So I'll give you my theory on that, and you can tell me why I'm probably dead wrong. But because 50 is a lot. So I was thinking, okay, he wants them to shoot 40. They're not normally getting to that number. So Coach is saying he wants 50, hoping they'll have a better chance of getting to 40. I'm sure that's wrong, but that's all I got. 50 is a big number, Doug. What can you share with us about how you came to that number?
Well, I think, like, first of all, like the arithmetic, the math behind it, there's a number for each player that I would like them to get to. And the way that I broke it down, it's possible. But I will say, like, we were light early on, and 40 was the number. So we were getting 37. We got 42 once. We got 28. So then I went 45 to get us to 40. So now I'm going 50 to get us to 45.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
So
game is game.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, that's what I want, and I want them to play for each other. That means how do you get to a number like that? You get to the number like that by being selfless. You get to the number like that by having 30 assists. You get the number like that by collapsing the defense, kicking it out, being ready to shoot the basketball, not pump faking. Like, I'm ready when I catch it. I'm thinking shot when I catch it. And if I don't, that means somebody was close enough to me. Now I take advantage. Once the advantage is created, however it was created, we got guys who can create it on their own, like Zach or Malik, and they get by their guy. Don't give the advantage up. And you give the advantage up by holding the ball or pump faking or something like that. So whether it's a two-man game in a pick and roll, whether it's a post up with Domas or DeMar and they double team and they kick it out, once that advantage is created, keep it and look to let that thing fly.
Yo, D, one of the things that I and like many other people around here, consider you the godfather of basketball when it comes to Seattle. And I know you're selfless, and I know you say no, but I know you knew somewhat of Zach LaVine. You kind of tapped in with Zach, but now that he's here and he's under the guidance of you, and you're in the same city, same team, has he surprised you with anything?
Yeah, he's better than I even thought. And I think you remember this because we were on the radio and we had tried to get Zach. And there was conversations between him and different players, and I was just like, yo, like, I love all the players, but you guys, you're not right on this one. Like, this kid can go. And I think he's finding his way, but he shoots the ball at a really high clip. And every time he shoots it now, I think it's going in. That's the vibe I get. And when you're playing against a player like that, you're hoping it doesn't go in. So the difference is like how I'm looking at it. And now it's like, man, that really got a chance. Like when he got on the heater the other night at home, he shot one right in front of me. And you get those angles, and I got the angle. And as soon as it left, I was like, oh man, that's good. And that was like the third one in a row. And I'm thinking, wow, man, I'm glad you're on our team, bro. So yeah, I would say like just watching how he goes about his game, the gravity that he has out there, he's a professional scorer at a really, really high level. So I'm glad he has on our jersey, and I'm just hoping that we continue to figure this thing out at a really high level for our fans.
Coach, as you try to get this team offensively to function at a high level, how pleased were you with the shot distribution last night? 14, 16, 12, 18, and 12. Obviously, Keegan's big night. He takes more shots than usual, but very balanced attack in that regard. How pleased were you with that?
Yeah, it's a good thing because that means everyone is touching the ball. And when a guy finds a game, like as a good teammate, like we find ways to get him the basketball. I would say really like that is actually what I would like to see from Keegan. Like I thought that was probably is about as perfect a game as he could have. I thought the reads on DHOs was great. If a guy went under, he didn't go too far, so he had a chance to recover. And when he caught the ball, he was ready to shoot it. 10 is the number of threes that I like to see from him. He got to that number. Defensively, he was solid. On the backboards, he was solid. Like the all-around game was it. But when you talk about the offensive side, that's really what I want to see from him is an aggressive mindset. When you catch it, you are ready to shoot. You immediately, you pull your weapon out right away. And from there, it's a read. Did he go under? Is he trailing me? Where are we at? And what is the next step? And it was just really good to see from him because I thought that he kind of got away from the thing that made him special. Because in our league, once you find something that makes you special, then you make people take that away from you. And that's how your game evolves. Sometimes we start trying to evolve our game before we make people take it away and respect it at such a high level that it makes you evolve your game. So, but the shot distribution, like sharing the basketball like that, and then when a guy finds a game, then we go to that, and that's probably the person on that night that's going to get the most shots, and that's okay.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Coach, who got the weakest aux cord music over there? Who got the weakest playlist right now for the Kings?
I'm not sure because everybody got headphones on, man. So I don't know what they be. I don't know what they be rocking to. But I told them actually the other day, like, man, we need a theme song.
Right.
Man. Like, when I was in New York, it was let's get ready to rumble. And then when I was in Sacramento, it was what did my team? He used to say, "We ready."
Oh, okay, little Pastor Troy.
Yeah. So we'd be in the hallway, and that's the chant that would start. And I told him, that somebody's going to be on it. They said we own it, but I was like, man, what's our thing?
Right.
We got to have a thing. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you hear it, it's time to turn up and get at it.
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what
looking
I mean?
for.
And right now, they got some cracking music.
Okay.
They have their thing going on, but I'm looking for that thing, the thing that wake me up, and I go, okay, I know everything in the world is going to be right when they hear this one.
The musical equivalent of smelling salts is what you're looking for.
Yeah. Them smelling salts, man. Them things is, whew, man.
I
tell you.
Yeah, I got one more for you. As you mentioned, you and Jay used to be on the air here. Who that's on the air now here at 1140 is least likely? I know no one's going to do it, but who is least likely who's on the air now on this station to go from being on the air to a head coach of an NBA team?
Chris.
I thought you were going to say that. It's funny because
whatever your question was,
the
answer would have been Chris.
Yeah, I figured. I put the setup in there because I thought most people would say Carmichael Dave.
That's where I thought he was
but
going,
I already knew. I said it's gonna be Verlon. It's gonna be.
No doubt. It's not even close. You can ask me another question, and it would still be Chris.
I guarantee he texts me right now and say, "Man, that's my guy."
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, Coach. We appreciate your time very much. We'd love to talk to you again. Thanks for making time for us. Can't imagine how busy you are. Best of luck on this road trip. Best of luck against the Rockets, and thanks again. We enjoyed it.
All love. Go Kings, light the beam. Peace, guys.
This Saturday, Kings and Rockets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3:30. Tip off at 5.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
For 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news, they're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPfest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPfest.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Thanks again to Doug Christie for joining us today. Quite a conversation. Jay has known him a long time. Jay knew him when... Did you know him before you guys worked here?
Oh, we literally started at the same time here.
We
developed a relationship.
Would you say that he's my guy?
He's my guy.
My guy.
Yeah, I know a lot of Kings fans are feeling pretty anxious about this.
You know, when we get off this song, I ain't gonna be your guy.
I'm sorry I had to play
about this road trip, but Doug is sounding very confident. He's focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, he is, which is a great thing. I'd rather have your leader of your squad, leader of the organization, be tapped in rather than not. And I think it starts, head of the snake.
Mm-hmm.
If he's the head of the snake, I'm confident moving forward, and hopefully some of the players follow. And that uplifting spirit DC has, man. A lot of the players, if they can fall in line and do the same thing, it'd be a beautiful situation.
Did he say snake?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were talking about Tieran.
Wow. Is that really necessary?
Yes.
Dang, Emeron. That's how you
scorned.
feeling, man.
I'm scorned.
Yeah. What? Okay. Let's dive into
Emeron Pilat.
Yeah. True Sports Cards.
Scorned. Yeah.
Saturday. 10, every Saturday, 10 a.m.
That's right.
Unless he's at a sports card show.
Not this Saturday.
Not this Saturday.
Show's on, but he ain't on it.
He ain't go.
I'm taking this weekend off. I'm going to spend some time with my son.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be him and Big Shep on Saturday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Him being Whitey.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back for you with De'Aaron Fox's situation?
The chatter after the trade.
Which one? What day? Because there's been multiple.
Pick one. That's exactly the point.
So there's been snowball effect for you?
I mean, is there a breaking point specifically for me?
Yeah.
No, it's just accumulation of the issues.
When he was asked as he came back from break, what are the differences in the organization? And then he said, where do I start? There's a whole bunch of
a list.
Did you?
Yeah, that was just.
That bothered you? Because I thought that was more about the organization, but I think a lot of Kings fans like you, they were insulted. You weren't talking about in my opinion.
I'm certainly not. Let's just say that I was a drive guy. I know I'm an honorary, but let's just say I'm a drive guy. Mm-hmm. And the ratings suck, and the team and the show's terrible. I'm saying stuff that's hypothetical because it's not. It's a wonderful show. It's I love this show, honestly, whether I was on it or not. I love listening to you guys. The dynamic between the three of you is amazing. But let's just say a key guy of the three of you says, man, I got to get out of here. This show's terrible. The ratings suck, etc. Well, you're part of the reason why the ratings suck. You're part of the reason why the team's not winning. You're the leader of this. So when you're like, I'm out of here, and where do I start with the organization? It starts with you, bro. It starts with you. If you're the leader of the team and the team is not winning and you're not seeing any success, and you've been on the team now for 7 years and you've seen you went to the playoffs once, you can't remove yourself from the responsibility as a leader of the team or said leader or wannabe leader and say, I got to get out of here. This place is terrible. When you were the one that were recruiting people, when you were the one that was helping grow this within the community, I'm being incredibly critical, and it hurts my heart to do this. And I'm usually a jovial, lighthearted guy, but this is serious stuff. We've got people who have lived and died on the back of this team and fandom, and they just want to have people that want to be here. So when Darren the rumors were that he was thinking about leaving, like, I'll drive you to the airport, man. Let's get people in here that want to be here. I love this city. I grew up in this area. And I want people that want to be here. And if you don't want to be here, it's okay, but let's get you out of here as fast as possible and get people in here that do want to be here.
To me, the difficult part of that is that when he was drafted, he wanted to be here, and he talked about how much he wanted to be here, and it was refreshing at the time. Wait, this is a guy that is going to be a high draft pick, and he wants to come to Sacramento? That's great. So I think for a lot of fans, it was kind of heartbreaking in a way that our guy wanted out. As you look at the standings here, because scoreboard watching now, that's what we're about the rest of the way. So as you probably know, you got Minnesota in 6th. Clippers in 6th, Minnesota in 7th, half game behind them. Golden State is a game out of 6th. Then the Mavericks are 9th. They're a game and a half out of 6th. The Kings are 10th, 2 games out of 6th. So these teams
That's
ahead
amazing.
of the Kings,
2 games out of 6. That's amazing.
The teams directly ahead of the Kings and the one behind them, they all play tonight. So let's see what we got. We got the Timberwolves are at the Lakers tonight. So we kind of got to root for the Lakers. It's hard to do, but the Suns are home to the Pelicans. They're starting a pregame of that now. The Mavericks are home to the Hornets. Hornet win would be nice, but probably not going to happen. And you got the Warriors visiting Orlando. The Warriors were way behind at halftime. Right now, with 7:45 left in the third, it's Orlando 71, Warriors 69. So anyway, game to game, day to day, things are going to look a lot different. But this is an eventful night for the Kings, even though they're not playing. That said, if the Suns continue to lose, the Kings at some point won't have to worry so much about 10th because they're capable of possibly backing in. Hopefully they won't need to, but Suns are unraveling right before our very eyes.
They are.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy than Kevin Durant.
Wow, you're going after everybody.
I'm taking the flamethrower to everybody today.
Mm-hmm. And I think we talked about it when it comes to the Spurs. Mathematically, they're starting. We're getting ready to start to have some equations for some of these teams that are in front and behind the Sacramento Kings, and that's why you just taking all W's. That's why we continue to keep on saying, just spark the left column, not the right column, and we'll be able to be we'll be in a good position.
Yeah. I think there's a good chance they win 2 of the next 3. There's also a chance they don't win any of them.
I like
the Kings, but yeah, they could beat Dallas, and then could you beat Denver or Houston? I don't think that's far-fetched, but it's hard to tell with this team because you don't know and they don't know which edition of the Kings, the good Kings or the bad Kings, who's going to show up night to night. Right now, we just don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think which one of the 2 of the 3 would be the toughest. Obviously, I think Denver is that's a tough team.
Yeah.
Jokic is just crushing.
Denver's won 9 of their last 10. Yeah, so they're playing well right now. And they're 29 at home, and you got the altitude and everything, but we'll see.
But other than that.
Yeah, we'll see. Are you worried at all about Domas, who the last couple of games has not put up his big numbers?
He's been missing from 3 quite a bit.
Yeah, last night 0 for 4.
Yeah.
And it's again, he's like, you can tell it's like, I don't really want to take this, but I should. I'm open. Whereas there was a stretch there where he was like, I want to let this thing fly. He's lost a little confidence in that 3-point shot.
He did. His straightaway shot 3 is the one that I think of him doing really well with. But he's been shooting kind of off the free throw line extended type of shots. He does have a little bit of a gap to where he could shoot that 20-footer, that 19-footer, and he's open and he's just not taking it right now. I'd love to see him score a little bit closer to his normal 20 though.
From the 916, the NBA and national media, this is on the text line. The NBA and national media say Sacramento has great fans. Pretty much everything else they think we suck at. If we start booing superstars on their return, we're going to lose some of that credibility quick. What do you think of that? We can't start booing stars because then nationally they won't think we're good fans, and that's all they think we have here is good fans.
You ask. There's about to be a game here real soon. Luka going back to Dallas. April something. They're booing everybody but Luka at this point. They're not wrong. I think that fans paid money when I go to a game and we paid to go, I can boo for whoever I want. I can cheer for whoever I want. And I'm certainly not going to think, what does the national media feel? I'm concerned that they're not going to take me seriously if I boo. So, yay, De'Aaron, thanks. No, they're going to feel how they feel. And passionate fans are a lot better than ones that sit on their hands. I was watching the Pelicans game the other day in New Orleans, and talk about an indifferent group. Atlanta's an indifferent group. I don't know if you've ever seen a game in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of like,
yeah.
I would much rather have a passionate fan base that boos and cheers for whatever they choose to do than to just be sitting on their hands.
I think the De'Aaron thing, the whatever it is, the grudge, it's going to last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Almost inevitably, a player who's a hero with a team or a treasured member of a team, then there's some bad blood. I'm thinking of Brett Favre, but it almost always in the end comes back around like, oh yeah, welcome back. It's going to be a long time, if ever, before Kings fans welcome De'Aaron Fox back. And he's like, yes, let me embrace you, Sacramento, my home. I hope it happens, but right now that's a long ways away.
It's interesting because he did a lot in the community while he was here.
Yes.
And you see some of these players that obviously they go to their new location and they probably do some stuff there locally. It's real interesting when we talk about players that are on their way out or they've left. Deebo Samuel of the Niners is about to be traded or let go. One of the two. He's asked for it. The team has committed that they will do that. But he has a youth camp here coming up pretty soon. And I'm just curious how's the response of the community when the person's like, get me out of here, I want to go. So who knows how this is going to shake out. I'm really very interested to find out what next Friday goes for. I need to get tickets. Wait, will you go? Jay, will you go with me if we go?
Of course.
Yeah.
You're going to be reporting from the stadium anyway, from the arena anyways.
Yeah.
It's just, are my seats better than yours? Probably not.
Yeah. The seats you have are better than the media seats, which are
pretty good seats. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to find out. This is going to be exciting.
Don't know if I'm going to get you any popcorn, but we'll see.
If I give you $130, you will.
160. Glad we won last two versus easy opponents. Don't get me wrong, but 4 turnovers in your first 5 possessions isn't going to work against anyone other than bottom dwellers. Ugly basketball. I think there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
The Kings started out last night. They started out very sluggish, and they played a lot of ugly basketball last night. That's a fact.
Keontae George was pretty good last night. Keontae George did really well, and I just feel like at the end of the game, the answer is it's a correct statement, and we still won.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I'm okay with ugly wins. I'm not okay with really beautiful losses.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll fight through it.
But it does
We'll
have to
figure
be
it out.
cleaned up.
Absolutely.
But I know Malik said last night after the game, he's like, yeah, that was mostly me. So at least he's aware. And again, I've said
A guy that takes
million
responsibility for his actions on the court as a point guard.
Turnovers are going to happen in basketball, and sometimes you try to thread the needle and make an aggressive play, and it goes awry. It's the one that's just the absolute brain-dead sloppy ones that have to stop. They have to stop. They have to stop. They got to stop now. They have to stop. They must stop, Emeron. They must.
They don't have to stop. They just have to limit it.
The bad one. Yeah, you limit the turnovers by stopping the ones that are like, oh, you're on the other team. Here, let me give you the ball. Those are the ones that have to stop.
You're so critical. Why can't you be like me, just rosy and,
You're right.
and in good spirits all the time?
Speaking of victories and defeats, are you going to take on Jay today in the wayback quiz?
That's the only reason I'm staying.
Will you accept his challenge, Jay?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
He slapped me with a white glove across my fist and said, I challenge you to the duel. And I said, let's do this.
Do you know, I know you've played, have you ever won Whitey's Wayback Machine Quiz? Do you know?
We did it. There was a 2
Yeah, it was on
one.
my team and we smacked Draper in there.
Yeah, it was tough.
Okay.
And he's like, you guys are not my guys if you win.
You have to have at least 1 win to qualify for the tournament.
He's qualified.
Oh, you've qualified.
What's the tournament? What are you talking
Tournament
about?
of Champions, which is coming up here.
How many total players are in the tournament of champions?
Well, I'll get back to you on that.
3?
Yeah. It's ever growing. You got Kyle Ledbetter. You got Kyle Draper. You got, of course, Jay. Ramsey hasn't won yet, and I guess you're in it too.
Wait, so it's a mix of about 5 people.
Well, as of right now,
Well, that's
it's
the
not
smallest
easy to qualify.
What is this? The 1950s
We just don't
NBA title?
hand out spots like candy, Emeron. We don't hand out spots like you hand out $100 bills to people getting you popcorn. Whitey's Wayback Machine Quiz for February 27th is next on Sacktown Sports.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal and every detail matters. Check out the new Napoleon Prestige and Rogue models and see the difference a Napoleon makes. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel, boasting absolute quality. Napoleon knows that the smallest details add up to make a big difference when curating your perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
The huge President's Day sale is on at Maida Chevy, Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Save $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on new half-ton Silverado LT. After rebates with over 50 in stock. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,250 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
I'm George Washington, and I approved this message. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. 5 to the Southern Mustang 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
We rely heavily on our HVAC systems during the cold valley winters and hot valley summers. That's why there are so many HVAC companies out there. So when you need a new system or a tune-up, where do you turn? I turned to Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Once our heater checked out, we checked in at leesair.com. The entire experience exceeded our high expectations. You want prompt service from people who know what they're doing, can save you money, and will treat you right? For your HVAC needs, Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. Ask about their $99 HVAC tune-up service, license number 6355355.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
All righty. Pardon me for being a little late to the party here. Time for Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for February the 27th. We got Jay against... I have it here somewhere. Emeron Pilat from True Sports Cards. Welcome to the game, Emeron, once again. I know it's been a while since you've played.
I've stretched. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you had a combo victory, and I'm not sure that qualifies you for the Tournament of Champions, but the committee is still looking at that because you may need a solo victory to qualify. So we're looking into that. It's possible. I think you need a win today. Then you don't have to worry about anything. But, yeah.
Is it baseball?
There's not much baseball because
good. I have a chance. Jay will smoke me in baseball pretty regularly.
Everything in the quiz is based on things that happened on this date or things related to events that happened on this date, February 27th in the following year. So we don't, obviously not a lot of baseball happening on February 27th. Jay, you're the defending champ. So do you want to go first?
I always let the visitor go first.
Oh, this feels very 8 Mile-ish right there. You could have used a different quote, but I think he wants me to go first.
Okay, so Emeron, you're up first here. Choose where you want to start. We have this date, what year 1, and this date, what year 2, which is I give you the event. You just try to.
But you won't tell me the dates yet?
No.
Okay.
Well, the date
You
is
did
February
before.
27th.
No, the year.
Oh. Well,
You've given
that's
the
what
year
you have-
before.
That's what you have to guess. Yeah.
So
we also have
door 1 or door 2?
19. Those are two of the categories. Also 1955, 1959, 1973, and 1999. So where do you want to start on those? This date, what year, 1 or 2?
Let's see. I was alive during one of those 4.
55, 59, 73, and 99.
Give me 99, please.
1999. All right, here's your question. Golden State Warriors, this date, 1999. With a defeat of Denver, they became the 7th franchise in NBA history to reach 2,000 victories. Okay? That was in 1999. That number now stands at 18. There are 18 franchises. Here's your question. Which of these following 3 NBA franchises has also won 2,000 games? You got me? Is it the Pacers, the Nuggets, or the Cavaliers? One of those three has won 2,000 games. Which one is it in franchise history? The Pacers, the Nuggets, the Cavaliers.
We're talking about NBA, not any other subset like an ABA that's transferred over.
Right. The Warriors reached 2,000 this day, 1999. So,
And since then, this team has joined them.
one of them has, yes. Yeah. Which team has reached 2,000 franchise victories? Pacers, Nuggets, Cavaliers. Jay waiting to scoop and score. If you
Is he Googling?
No, he doesn't do that. He's the one guy, like when he says, I'm not doing that, it's like,
I'm
okay,
gonna
I know it's not.
I'm gonna go with the Cavs based on the LeBron years.
Pacers 1,930, Nuggets 1,954, Cavs 2,032. He's got it.
Cavs because LeBron too.
The LeBron years.
Got it.
And I was
Very
just
well
I was
done.
thinking to myself, like, did the Pacers come over from ABA?
That's
Yeah,
what I
was just
thought about
trying
too.
to
And
think,
I know
done.
Denver did, right?
Yeah. So 1 point
Good
for
one.
you, Emeron. Yeah. Wow.
That's all the time we have for today's show.
I mean, you
I
actually
win.
thought about it and worked it out. Like, man, that was impressive. Jay, this day what year 1? This day what year 2? 55, 59, and 1973.
1955. Joe DiMaggio.
1955. Not correct.
Okay.
Hawks and Celtics combined to score only 119 points, a shot clock era low. But that's not your question. Your question is this. What team scored only 49 points in a loss in April of 1999? Was it the Bulls, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves?
Wait, this is 55?
Well, hold on. That's
Okay.
what got us here. In 1955, Hawks and Celtics only scored 119.
Gotcha.
So along those lines, 1999,
Okay.
what team scored only 49 in a game? Bulls, Grizzlies, or Timberwolves? Emeron with the lead 1-0. What team scored only 49 points in a loss?
Time.
In April of 1999. The Bulls, Grizzlies, or Timberwolves, Jay?
I'm going the Bulls.
We have a tie game. It's 1-1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The Bulls, that was post
1999?
That's Pete
Yeah.
Chilcutt. That's Pete.
Yes.
What'd you say, Pete Chilcutt?
Not Pete Chilcutt. Pete, who was my
Pete
guy?
Myers.
Pete Myers. There you
Pete
go.
Myers.
I was going to say in 1999, the draft pick was Elton Brand that year. That's
that
a bad
was
team.
the J. Will draft, wasn't it? Maybe he was 98. Anyway, 1-1, Emeron. What do you want? This date, what year 1 or 2 or 1959 or 1973? This game is tied.
When you say year 1 or year 2,
This date, what year 1 or this date, what year 2? Or I tell you what happened, and you have to guess the year, and he tries to.
that's so hard. That's impossible.
Then don't pick that one. 1959 or 1973?
73.
1973. Multiple choice. Who signs a 3-year deal worth $250,000 a year on this date, 1973? Becoming
Nolan
the highest
Ryan.
paid player in baseball history.
Nolan Ryan.
Johnny Bench, Nolan Ryan,
Nolan Ryan.
Dick Allen. What's your answer?
I've been saying it since you opened your mouth.
That is not correct.
It is not correct.
Not correct. Over to Jay. Jay.
It's Johnny Bench.
It's not Johnny Bench. It was Dick Allen from Wampum, Pennsylvania.
What? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
1-1.
That was a baseball question. You got it wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was Johnny B.
Yeah. So
73?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Jay, it's 1-1 in Europe. This date, what year 1? This date, what year 2? 1959.
What year 2?
This date, what year 2? He gets to hear it, and he may decide to have you go first, Emeron. So listen up.
And whoever gets closest one.
Yeah.
Horseshoes.
This day, what year? The Bulls defeat Minnesota,
Okay.
120-99. improved to 50-6, reaching 50 wins with the fewest losses in a season of any major pro sports team, NBA, NHL, NFL, or MLB in this century.
96.
1996 is right. Absolutely right.
Talking about the Bulls?
Yeah.
Ugh. Such an easy question.
He nailed that one. 2-1. Emeron, you're up. This day, what year won? Or 1959? You're down 2-1.
Let's see. Which one would I have better chance at? 1959 or this mystery? Give me the mystery.
This day, what year won? Okay, you get to hear it. You can decide if you want to go first or you want Jay to go first. This day, what year? National League Rules Committee for Baseball decrees that all foul balls are to count as strikes except after 2 strikes. Well, what year did they make that rule?
Are there choices?
No, what year? You
Give it-
can
give-
let him go first.
Please let him go. Good luck.
You get that, Jay?
If you get this, I'll just
So
quit.
the NL.
National League Rules Committee, this day, what year? Decrees all foul balls count as strikes except after 2 strikes.
19.
Oh, my goodness. If he gets this right, it's going to be wild.
1908.
1908. You have to get closer. He wins if you don't get this one. So
What?
this is 1908. So,
Oh.
yeah. What year do you say? You're trying to get closer to the answer.
Is it one of those things where, like, you can't go over the date?
No, but
Just
you
closer
obviously, yeah, depending on what year you think it is. I mean, you don't want to say like 1989. You go, 1 year over his or 1 year under his.
Is that what I should do?
Well,
I would go 1909.
1901.
Yay!
With the win.
What are the chances of that actually happening? Terrible.
Jay with the win
I
today.
feel like I just drafted Marvin Bagley over Luka.
Nice game.
What just happened?
Yeah.
How could I lose that?
You got Jade. That's what happened. It happens a lot. He's a good player.
How does do we even know that 1901 existed as a
Yes,
year?
I can tell you. I graduated from high school that year.
Graduated from high school.
Emeron Pilat, thanks so much. You're getting a lot of nice.
I love the
saying.
chat. I love the chat. I love being able to connect with people and have some fun with it. And for those of you that don't like me, I understand. I'm around me all the time. But for those of you that do show love, I appreciate it. Please tune in to Whitey and Shep this weekend, True Sports Card Show, 10 a.m. on Saturday. They'll be running it live.
Now, somebody listening right now, they drive up to your store, Rockland True Sports Cards. They come in and they say, Emeron said I got a special on what? What's the special for people listening right now?
Why don't we run another special for my man Malik Monk?
Oh, okay.
Shall we do some jerseys?
It's up to you.
$75 Malik Monk signed jerseys available starting this Saturday, right after the show.
Really?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll limit it to 10. We'll have 10 of them ready to go. But come on by the shop, and we'll have $75 Malik Monk jerseys.
Wow.
Available for the signed Malik Monk jerseys, custom jerseys ready to go right after the show ends, which will end at 11:01 a.m. Saturday.
How about that? That's very nice. You got.
Thanks for pressuring me. I really appreciate it.
Thank
I didn't
you.
feel the need to do that until you brought it up.
Stick around because Golf to Go is next on Sacktown Sports.